This is Lansdowne Roar, the voice of the fans. David Dunn here, joined by Martin Prendergast and, of course, Conor McAvoy. And this is the voice of Irish football. It's your podcast. It's Lansdowne Roar. We are live. And I'm going to switch off this irritating music. There we go. Of course, a few house rules. If you haven't watched us before, welcome. Of course, we're on YouTube and Facebook and, of course, Twitter. Anything you want to talk about, this is your podcast. You can have your say, get involved, and you can ask us anything, or if you agree or disagree with anything that we say, have your say, get involved. That is what we are all about. And of course, if you haven't already, do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the like button below. We're trying to get 2,000 subscribers before we go to Bulgaria, and we are going to Bulgaria. Conor and I are, at least, anyway. But we'll also be in Dublin with Martin as well. He's going to be running around the place. Yeah, no. Well, someone has to pick up the slack, Conor. I mean, Martin can't even get a decent internet connection, as you can see. He's gone all retro. He's gone Commodore 64 down the bottom there.
He looks like he's just off a sunbed as well.
Yeah, looking very well. But yes, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before we get to Plovdiv. Help us, because it really does help us, and it helps Irish football, because that's how it works, right? Also, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. If you haven't already, head over to Conor's Twitter at RefTracker. That is at RefTracker if you want to find out the latest about the current and future boys and girls in green. If you want opinion, we have had an explosion, not a real one, touch wood, although the way things are going. We've had an explosion over on the website. We have loads of articles, loads of writers over at lansdowneroar.ie, lansdowneroar.ie. And if you want to get involved, I'm going to play the video, lads. You happy? Will I play the video?
Yeah, work away. I'm
going to play the video. This is how you get involved. How's it going? David Dunn here from Lansdowne Roar, and I am calling out to anybody who wants to write about Irish football. That's right. If you want to write for Lansdowne Roar at lansdowneroar.ie and join our fantastic writers group over there, this is a great opportunity for you. It is a voluntary position, no experience required. However, all we ask is for you to be passionate and consistent, and also be able to string 2 cents together. Sorry, Martin, that leaves you out. It can be any level of Irish football that you want to talk about: men's, women's, seniors, juniors, League of Ireland, school league, anything at all that you want to express yourself about. This is for you. If you are an aspiring sports journalist, it's also a fantastic opportunity for you. We do have a wide reach. Of course, we have a stream every week, as you're probably watching us on now. So it's a great way to get yourself exposed in a positive way. If you want to get in contact, pod at lansdowneroar.ie. Also, Conor at lansdowneroar.ie, David at lansdowneroar.ie, Martin at lansdowneroar.ie. Or you can head over to our Facebook, our Instagram, or our Twitter, and you can contact us directly. Not a problem, and we'll get you sorted there. Apply below now. Gorgeous. Yes, apply. Honest to God, just get in contact, and Conor will set you up. You get you plugged in to the Roar machine. Have you say any level you want to talk about Irish football. We want to hear it. Of course, on today's program, we're going to talk a little bit about James Abankwah.
Oh, you nearly done it.
No, I didn't. I did not. I always pronounce his name properly, as you can tell. Just listen to the archives. We're going to be talking about him today, and of course, OBIG and some latest news. And then we're going to get to your comments. Speaking of the archive, the last video, lads, you guys did. I wasn't on it. Of course, didn't have the usual Davy panache, but never mind. Kenny versus Hart, of course, is in the YouTube archives. It's over on lansdowneroar.ie, where you can also get an audio version of this. Some feedback there, chaps. We're apparently an English based podcast about an Irish football. To be fair, we always get some good comments there, some good feedback, and we do appreciate it. But yeah, we're kind of living in one, lad.
I agree. That's all I have to say.
Agree what?
No, I mean, look, this was. I seen that comment, and it's a bit laughable, to be honest. I think it's the fact that I think they took great offence to me calling Ian Hart a friend of the pod, and that was obviously in reference to many of our long-term followers of the show all know that in November last year, and I said that on the show as well, that that we do call people friends of the show or pod. because they may have been former guests or anything. It doesn't mean that we necessarily agree with them all the time. And we call it as it is on Lansdowne Raw. So, said, oh, you're going to cover up and defend Ian Hart and things. It's a very divisive subject, that thing that we discussed about the agents, and it's still going on, isn't it? And I think we were quite fair and balanced.
Yeah, all I have to say is some people are just, they're just not the prize when it comes to these sort of things. You can be friends with someone and disagree with what they say. Isn't that right, David? Every single thing you say about football, I disagree with, but it doesn't mean we hate each other. Well, maybe do a wee bit. But,
no.
And
that's why you pay me €5, Connor, when you lose a bet.
Yeah, see, that's why the three of us have a good relationship with Ian Hart. Doesn't mean we agree what he said at all in any context. So people, I don't know, but in fairness, I think they're all just disagreeing with you, Martin, because you're a horrible fella. But they all agreed with me as per usual. But God knows, I know they all. If Dave was on, it would have been a disaster.
Jesus, I thought Trump was delusional, Martin. This lad. We're not going to get into politics. Don't worry. It's a political free zone. Thank Christ. Yeah, no problem. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. And that's the beauty of this podcast. We all have opinions. And we've had some absolute rows on this one between ourselves, with some of the followers. We're all friends afterwards, because that's what it's about. But Jeff, all I can say is living rent free in your head, mate. Anyway, let's move it on. I wonder what the comments will be after that. Of course, the subject matter today is this fella here, James Abankwah. Masterclass is a senior call-up incoming. Connor, you really wanted to talk about this guy. You've been a massive fan of him. Of course, the squad is announced on Thursday the 13th, we believe. Is that the 13th? Have I got that right, chaps?
That's what we're guessing. That's the guess that I've made, and don't doubt me. So it'll be the 13th. I'm sure we'll find out in the next couple of days, because there'll be a media list sent out for applying for stuff. So it'll be next week. It'll be almost certain of
course. So we're thinking now. Obviously, defense is we're not really short of talent, to be fair. So you think, Connor, you reckon this guy is going to get a call up? And tell us what you watched him yesterday for Watford. A 0-0 draw against Stoke, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, obviously, which is good for him because he's a defender. Tell us, what impressed you so much about this lad?
I think it's everything, really. I've watched so much of him since he's joined Watford on loan from Udinese. He started off playing right back for them. Then he was playing right centre back in a back three. And now he's playing left centre back in a back four, which has kind of been a bit of a mix up of things at times. And Watford, in his period he's been there, Watford have been consistent at times and then gone off the boil, but he's been a consistent throughout. His performances have been top class. He is, for a defender, his ball carrying ability out from the back is absolutely exceptional. You can tell he spent years playing as a right full back, with the way he picks up the ball and he just drives through picks up the ball, goes through midfield, ends up getting fouled half the time because he's so strong and he's so fast. The teams have no option just to pull him down, because you don't want him taking off at full flight. One-on-one duels, he seems to win them all. He's so strong. He's the biggest legs I've ever seen in my life. I believe all the Ireland staffs have to get him double XL shorts because his legs and his quads are just too big for everyone else's sizes. And I know, Dave, me and you done a video not too long ago, maybe a month and a half ago, about 5 Irish players who I think will get their first call up in 2025. And I said James Abankwah would be one. I didn't think he'd come in March, to be honest, but I think he's done everything possible for a centre half to get called up. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday. Man of the match, best player on the pitch by far. Everything he done. And the thing about him, he makes it look so easy. He just makes it look effortless. He never really has to get in full stride when he's defending, a bit like he's not like Van Dijk in that context, but in terms of Van Dijk doesn't really make it look difficult. When he wins tackles, you just know he's going to win it. And I think if he gets called up in March, I know we have a lot of depth at centre back, but I think of all Irish players in the championship right now, obviously Finn Azaz seems to be back in form, but over the last 4 or 5 weeks, Abankwah's probably been our best player in the championship.
Okay, Martin, if Abankwah does come in, who does he come in instead of?
Seeing some of the comments coming in there already, and I think Liam Scales is probably a bit vulnerable from the last squad. You got to remember as well, got sent off at Wembley. But I think he's not really playing for Celtic, and I think
Martin, could I jump up in there? Can I just jump in before you start?
Yeah.
Because Scales is suspended for the first leg, so I'd highly doubt he'll be probably picked. just in that context, why will they pick them if he's only going to come in for the second leg? Is just my response.
I
to
wouldn't
that
think
because
so,
he's
no. But I mean,
can't
look,
play.
that's what. Yeah, but I think just generally anyway, he's not playing as he for Celtic really. So I was talking to a Celtic friend of mine, and he was saying, yeah, look, he thinks he just gets targeted and stuff, and it was more that Brendan Rodgers is trying to make a player out, prove people wrong with his use of Liam Scales, but so I can see him coming in for him perhaps. But yeah, look, really impressed with him. He started off that kind of clip that went viral of him kind of burying someone in the first kind of challenge he put in one of his first games went around, and we just kind of woke up to the fact that this lad's a possibility for Ireland. I know Tom Cleverley's highly rated him, talking about him in press conferences as well, giving him a lot of credit. So yeah, good to see. And yeah, we're very blessed there. And it does seem to be the latest trend that you can play, you are playing centre backs out of position as well. So it's quite good that he started off as a full back and can go in centre back as well. So just that trend is there, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's the point, though. I mean, Scales, obviously. I like the lad. He seems like a really decent fella, but I don't think he's an international defender, and he sort of come in. We used to have a thing on. I think it was last season, Martin, or the season beforehand when we were doing the lives, and we had a thing like, "Where's Liam Scales?" Remember, it got where is he? Like we just had like a question mark instead of his face or something. And he was at Celtic, and then did he go to Aberdeen on loan?
Yeah, the season before last.
Yeah. So he did okay. He's come back in, but I think even then he had a bit of a stinker against Rangers, and he hasn't recovered from that. He's playing, but he's playing bit parts. He came on over the weekend because I think there was an injury. He came on at 27th minute, 23rd minute, somewhere around that. So I'd imagine that's an injury. He's not really playing a lot of football. His last game, he had a total nightmare, getting sent off, giving away a penalty. So he is probably not going to make it just by default. I know Heimer likes to stick with a regular back four, but I think Liam Scales, he's not quite an international level, and yeah, I think he's one of those. He'll only come in if there's a major, either injury, load of injuries in the squad, or there's a couple of people suspended or whatever. It's unfortunate because I do like him and he's done well, but I just don't think he's international standard. That's probably going to get me a little bit of heat in the comments.
I don't think so, Dave.
No, I'm getting enough heat.
I don't think so. I don't. It's not like say if Liam, sorry, Nathan Collins, if he was suspended, you could understand him coming in and being part of it. We've had that before. So, and that can happen. I think they probably will maybe pick a bigger squad with that in mind. But let's see how it goes, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think with Liam Scales, I think the way he hasn't played as of late, and he came on the other day and he didn't play great for Celtic against St Mirren. He actually, it was good to see Killian Phillips, Ireland 21 international, score a very nice goal for them and play very well. But or for St Mirren, not Celtic, by the way, if you're wondering. But no, he wasn't hectic, and he doesn't seem to play then at all anymore. Really, it used to be him and Trusty used to swap every single game, and then now it seems to be just Trusty starts every game, and Trusty's a very, very average defender. So it shows where Scales is thought of these days by Rodgers. He just, ever since that nightmare at Ibrox, he's just not gotten back to himself. And I don't know, like, I know you're on about Dave about sticking with a see him like back four or such, but like if you look at the Finland game away, although Scales did score that day, if you remember that very nice header, he had a back four of O'Shea, Collins, Scales, and Robbie Brady. So if we could go into a Bulgarian match and we could have probably have a back four of O'Shea, Collins, we could say McGuinness or something because he played there against Wembley, and Robbie Brady, and that's kind of three of the four there. And you'd probably say of the three of the four, who would you, or if you had to pick one out of the four, who could be easily replaced the most? You'd say Scales, although he is a left-footed centre half, which we do lack. And just on like left-footed centre halves, Cashin didn't play again for Brighton today. I know a lot of people are getting a bit worried about what's going on there, but I think Hurstler's just a bit of a fraud, to be honest. I have no other one. He's not. I think he's a power man manager.
But he is, but he's still not playing, and he's the manager.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think he'll be a Brighton manager long term. I just don't think it'll work out long term. I just think there's something with him that I think he's just a bit naive on his age, and he's just trying to prove a point at all times. But no, I do think Cashman will get his chance eventually. I think it's Hurster, as I've said before to you, Dave, it's all about this thing of bedding into our system, and he has to get used to our system. But and then because we have no other, if say for example Scales isn't picked, we'll have no left-footed centre half, which could actually make room for Anselmo Garcia McNulty to come in possibly, as he scored today. If you've seen, he got his first goal of the
Well, they
season.
lost 4-2, to be fair.
Yeah, got his first goal of the season. But no, I wouldn't have Anselmo in there, to be honest yet. I'd have James coming in that spot. Does Mark McGuinness come back in or stay in the squad? Luton are in the relegation zone, which is pretty scary to think. Shane Duffy, he spoke about having experience in the squad, which we do lack, but Shane Duffy just makes me want to pull my hair out in 2025 thinking of him being back in Ireland squad. Nothing against him, I just don't think he's at that level anymore. His pass is best, and I think it's just really, is it Abankwah or is it Shane Duffy or is it Omobamidele looks to be out, so it's interesting to see what he'll do.
Yeah, I do agree. I genuinely do agree. I think Abankwah, when I'm saying like you like to stick to a back four, I'm not saying you should stick to the usual back four. I don't.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry to just interrupt you. Jake O'Brien will probably start right back. I've completely forgot about Jake O'Brien. He'll probably play right back.
How dare you?
I think as well, I think you do have to consider Darragh O'Shea as well. Has been doing well, and I think he's played left back before. If he was thinking that, and I think you're being
left back. Why do you want him to play left back?
Who?
No, but why do you want him to play left back? Darragh O'Shea.
I don't want to. I'm saying we haven't really got a left back though, have we?
Robbie Brady did. Scored a lovely free kick yesterday.
If he's fit. Yeah, but that's Robbie Brady, who Dave, many of the long-term listeners will know.
Hold on.
Dave retired him. Dave retired. Is he still eligible for Ireland, Dave? Because you have retired him officially on the show.
Hold on. I love how Martin like is about to kind of tear into Robbie Brady. And go, actually, because I don't want to say anything, that might get me in trouble. Well, Dave actually turned around. No, don't you get me through your door.
I'm not pulling out Robbie Brady.
That was motivational for Robert Brady.
I don't know if he was.
All I'm going to say is Martin said we could play Darragh O'Shea at left back.
Yeah. I'm saying.
What about Captain Cod? What about Captain Cod? I thought he was our left back of dreams.
Mask slips.
He could play there. He could play there. I'm just making the point that Darragh O'Shea, this thing, as I said in one of my opening comments this evening, that there's this trend of we will play 4 centre backs and we'll just put them all in there. That could easily happen. That is, we have all these players are very adaptable now. That's just the thing of it. And to have balance, I'm just going on to the point that Darragh O'Shea played left back in the lockdown game in Wales, and I would expect to see Brady there if he's fit to get in the squad. I don't think Nick Scales will be in it, but I think Cod could definitely be there.
Just for the record, I did not retire Robbie Brady. It was a motivational tactic. Robbie Brady's career was laying in the flames, in the muck of avarice. And my words, because I know this for a fact, my words spurred him on, and he's gone on to get umpteen amount of caps for Ireland. So you should actually be thanking me, Martin, and not having to go. Just putting it out there. Because Robbie Brady did. Don't ask him that, but he did. Right. Should we move it on to OBIG?
Unless Martin has something else to say, some other inspirational quotes of playing 4 centre backs against Bulgaria, which would be pretty frightening. Actually, sorry, I forgot to tell you, it looks like Bulgaria will be having a new manager in March. I've seen on Twitter earlier.
Really?
Their manager manages one of the club teams. There's been a bit of arguments in the federation. Dave, you might want to look it up whilst I'm chatting BS here, but he has reportedly is in the process of stepping down over I think tomorrow or something. They're making an announcement, so it'll be interesting who they bring in as manager. Will it be Berbatov? Will it be Petrov? Will it be none of them? I don't know. Now, but it'll be interesting to see what the story is in Bulgaria. I'd imagine there's been arguments probably with the federation, and it's always, I think it's never a good thing when a club manager's managing an international team. Could you imagine Stephen Bradley doing Shamrock Rovers? It would be a bit of a mess. So I don't know exactly the situation, but it's a probably for Ireland them having a new manager coming in, because they didn't have they still finished second in their group behind Northern Ireland, but it'd be interesting now to see who they get in charge. It'll probably be someone we've never heard of.
They have Ilyan Ilyev, I believe, 56-year-old from Varna. Just trying to find here. I don't know where you saw that, Connor. I cannot find anything here on the internet in front of me.
I will send it to you now.
Send it to me now, baby.
Whoa.
Just on I think just on the squad and speculation, we've seen some comments. Keep them coming, please. It's really interesting to see those and who you think is likely to be involved in the squad or you want to see in the squad. But I don't know. I'm just a bit hesitant to think he will make lots of changes. Like what way is he going to approach this Nations League? Will he be? Is he? I
Sure,
know
he
he's
has
going to.
to
He
make
can't
changes.
say, "Oh, I don't." Well, I know he does, yeah. But what I'm saying is he going to bring in players who he's going to just throw in at the deep end and give them their debut in this Nations League
Well, he
playoff
did.
where we relegated?
Martin, he did say, I remember he did say back in November, there's a couple of under 21 players that he hopes will kick on, really, and so they can get into get in the senior squad for March. So I do think he will be looking ahead to the World Cup qualifiers. Like I think he thinks if there's a player that he thinks will be ready for the Ireland senior squad in September, he thinks could be a big player in these World Cup qualifiers, he would bring them in because no matter whether we beat Bulgaria or not, which I expect us to do and probably do it comfortably in the end, but I still think he will want to get players who are considered ready, especially if they're fit, because you can say, oh, we wait to June, we can wait. What if they get injured in May and then they miss out in June and then they have to try and make their debut against Hungary in September? So that's why I think the likes of Rocco Vata should be. I know Rocco hasn't played as much lately, which is a bit annoying because of sickness and injury, but I think you have to bring him in, probably bring James in. I would have brought Louis Barry in, but Louis Barry has got a knee injury now and it seems out to be he'll be out for towards the end of the season.
Well, just on that there, Connor. So, So Connor just sent it over to me there, folks. If this is the first time I'm hearing about it, probably first a lot of you guys are hearing about it. So, according to Passport Soccer, which has 1,989 followers. So, just to tell you where we're getting this from, following the international game, national team news, previews, and discussions. A bit like what we do. So what they have here is controversy in Bulgaria after a cup draw has led to scrutiny and accusations of corruption in Bulgaria. Bulgaria head coach Iliev, I hope I'm doing that name justice, who also coaches club side Chernomor Varna, who were involved in the draw, says he will submit his resignation as national team coach tomorrow. It's always a problem with Bulgaria, and then you see some of the comments. So basically, another normal day in Bulgaria until Berbatov takes over their FA. And then they respond, Passport Soccer. Unfortunately, yes, huge changes are needed on Bulgarian football. And then some guy goes, great copy and paste job. And they've typed, see you next Tuesday at the... bit like, yeah, something I hear every day, I suppose. So there you go. So yeah, Iliev might not be the manager. So a bit of turmoil, it's going well, lads.
Yeah,
any advantage you could take.
Yeah, but I know Martin was talking about lads coming into the squad for March. Who's the new lads? Who would you actually want to come in? I know Martin, you said about will he make many changes, but if there is going to be new faces in for the next squad, not just new names but fresh call-ups, who would you actually want?
I'd like to see Abankwah come in, certainly. I mean, midfield is a problem for us. I'm disappointed Boasting Noel hasn't, we spoke about him a lot, haven't we? But he's just not kicked on and been given an opportunity. But he was one. We have to solve this midfield problem. Connor's surmising how we all feel about that. I think.
Just grab a tissue there, Connor. I'm sure you have many of those next to your PC.
Good thing we have a. Good thing we have a. Good thing we have a Mr. John Joe Patrick Finn now.
He's tearing it up, isn't he, at the moment?
He's supposedly do it. I suppose I haven't seen his last couple of games. Supposedly he's been actually quite, despite them being a useless team, he's done quite well.
They are shit. They are so bad. They have lost something like the last 7 games, I think.
Yeah, but just to point out there, it's weird. Like when you look at it, probably if we bring in O'Brien, we bring in Smallbone back in. Will we bring in probably Abankwah in? Hopefully. We could be bringing in, who else is there? Robbie Brady was injured the last camp, wasn't he? Jake O'Brien, I don't know if I said Jake O'Brien. John Joe Patrick Finn. We could be bringing in Rocco Vata as well. We could, I don't know who else because of injuries and stuff like that. But the squad actually could be quite different to what the squad was in November. I know you're on about settling a squad, Martin, but I think it actually will be quite different because there was quite a few lads who were out injured in November. And now there's a few lads who are starting to step up at club level that you kind of think, yeah, I think we have to bring them in. So
I think he's going to go. I'm going to go on a limb here. I think he's going to keep it very minimalistic in the changes department. I think he's just from what I've seen of him, he's a very pragmatic coach. This is a competitive game. I know you're confident we're going to beat them, Connor, Bulgaria. But at the end of the day, our last game was a 5-0 drubbing against England, and that we don't know what damage that's done to the team psychologically. We haven't really hit any sort of form, so I think he's just not going to take any chances. It's a playoff. Of course, we lose the game, we go down to League C, where we should have been after the first one.
No.
If you know your history. No, it's where we should have been. We were relegated from League.
Yeah, I know, but no, we deserved the step.
We didn't, but anyway. But yeah, no, that was Jesus, that was dreadful. But I think he's gonna be pragmatic. I'm not saying he's not gonna underestimate Bulgaria. I just think he's thinking it's a competitive game. Let's get through this, and then get to the summer in June, and then he'll start to bring the players in. To be honest with you, other than if he's going to announce, because we need a left back, unless he goes a Sirkin and someone like that, or maybe we probably need a striker as well. Unless he's going to unveil like a maverick call up like a Sirkin, because we do not have an actual left back. He's a left back. Well, you got Ryan Manning, but you know what I mean. Or he's going to get like the guy off the lap or something like that. He's not really going to change. I can't see a change.
No, but actually forgot about that. I was looking at the squad for November. Casey McAteer is in. There's no way he can be picked again. I seen him. I didn't know whether he picked up an injury again, but I seen the Leicester. Was it West Ham that played the other day? And he was sitting behind the bench, and the people that's travelled with the squad haven't made the bench. So no way we can pick him after.
Can't pick him
even making a bench. That's what Rocco. I know they're a different position. Jacob Ryan, but But looking at right/left wingers, like surely Rocco Vada has to take his place.
He probably if he does, it won't be because Rocco Vada's torn the league up. Because obviously he's just come back from injury. So accept that. But you got players like Bosun Lawal. He's sitting on the bench, as you'll see. I don't want to spoil it for you folks with OBIG or OBIG. John Joe Patrick Finn haven't seen enough from. Well, I've seen enough from him to know that he's not ready for international football. I don't think. I don't really see who else comes into it unless he's going to pull a huge coup. It can happen, like John Aldrich, Ray Houghton, Martin type of coup, like 2 for the price of 1. Something really special like that. He's not going to change it unless there's a massive injury or like loss of massive drop off of form like Casey McAteer. Well, that's my opinion. What do you guys think of it out there, out in YouTube and Facebook and Twitter land out there? Just under 900 of you watching us on Sunday night. It's fantastic. What do you think? Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us? Ask us any question you want. Get involved. Leave a comment. Are you ready for some OBIG, lads?
Yep. Let's find out how the lads are getting on.
Right, let's do it. Right. Let's have a look at the goalkeepers. Connor, as always, Queven Gallagher, well, they play Wednesday against PSG, Liverpool. Mark Travers, 90 minutes in a 1-0 win over Derby for Middlesbrough. Max O'Leary, 90 minutes in got that one wrong. Max O'Leary. Josh Keeley, 90 minutes of 2-1 loss against Charlton for Leyton Orient. And Gavin Mizuno, 90 minutes of 2-0 loss against Anderlecht for Standard Liège. Don't know what happened there. How did Max O'Leary do?
Didn't play. Bristol City didn't have a game. They played midweek. It was the midweek game one. No, that was midweek before. That was last midweek.
Yeah, no, I've got that right. You'll see the other Bristol City players basically. Yeah, sorry, folks, we're kind of rushing. It does happen. Hey, we're live. There you go. So he didn't play. Just get ready to correct me, Connor. Right, here we go. Defenders. Shut up, Mark. Seamus Coleman. Well, the game's on Saturday, but I don't think he'll be playing. Darrell O'Shea plays Monday with Ipswich Town in the Cup against Forest, I believe. Nathan Collins, 90 minutes in a 4-0 win over Leicester for Brentford. Liam Scales, 63 minutes in a 5-2 win over St Mirren. Shane Duffy, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw with Blackburn for Norwich. Mark McGuinness, 21 minutes in a 1-0 win over Portsmouth for Luton Town. Tom Dowda dropped from the squad. Cardiff. Matt Doherty, 48 minutes in total after extra time. Of course, they lost 5-4 penalties. He missed a penalty, I believe. Jacob Bryan plays on Saturday for Everton. Ryan Manning plays Saturday, we hope, with Southampton. A lot of this, folks. Andrew Amabambadelli still out injured. He did not feature for Strasbourg today. Robbie Brady got a lovely free kick, 71 minutes and a goal, and 3-0 win over Burnley. Jimmy Dunn, 90 minutes at right back, 2-1 loss against Sheffield United. John Egan plays on Tuesday with Hull. Aaron Cashin on sub. We spoke about that earlier on. For Brighton, has he made a mistake? And Seminole Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes to the goal and a 4-2 loss against Harlequins. Will Ferry not in the squad against Dundee United, probably injured, Con. I'm sure you'll fill us in on that. James Abankwah played a Stormer, 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw with Stoke City for Watford.
I don't know where you got Nathan Collins beating Leicester 4-0 out of. To be honest with you, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Sorry,
didn't get this on my watch, did you? Didn't get it on my watch.
What do you mean? I was made. I did the fucking graphics for yours as well. You cheeky bastard.
At least you done the honest thing and said Callum O'Dowd was dropped and there was no rotation. There was no rotation involved. He was just
Collins didn't play, did he?
No, imagine his game time. He captain led them to a victory, and then they have to rotate a little bit. Cardiff apparently, so
apparently
that's what I've heard.
In fairness, they did rotate. Actually, if you looked at their squad, they played a lot. Look how happy Brendy is now when I said that.
Don't doubt me.
Yeah, sure. You're not going to rotate him for a cup game. Come on now, or pathetic. Right, midfielders. Yet again, Connor, please correct me. Josh Cullen, not in the squad. He was rotated for Burnley in the Cup. Jason Knight plays on Tuesday with Bristol City. See, I didn't get all the Bristol City stuff wrong. Jason Maloney, 90 minutes and 1-1 draw with Leeds for West Brom. Finn Azaz, 83 minutes in a goal and 1-0 win over Derby for Middlesbrough. Andy Moore, 75 minutes and a 0-0 draw with Watford for Stoke. Jack Taylor plays Monday with Ipswich. Jamie McGrath, injured still for Aberdeen. Will Smallbone plays Saturday with Southampton. We hope. Alan Brown, Saturday with Sunderland. I don't know why they didn't have a game, actually, but there you go. Mark Sykes, Tuesday. Should we even have fucking bothered doing this? Luke O'Connell, not in the squad for Barnsley. Sure you can fill this in on that one, Connor. Your boy. Bosun Lawal, not in the squad. No, he was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
On sub, yeah. Connor Coventry, 77 minutes and 2-1 win over Leyton Orient for Charlton. Rocavata, 14 minutes and a 0-0 draw with Stoke for Watford. And John Joe Patrick Finn, 90 minutes and a 3-0 loss against Monaco for Stade Ram. Sorry, folks, I'm having a bit of a nightmare with yellow graphics, but at least we corrected, even when I get it wrong. Other than that, happy, Connor?
I think so. Unless Martin is that in the pint out tip.
No. Happy enough with that. Look, it's where we are. I mean, it's Cup weekend, isn't it? FA Cup weekend. It's the latter stages, obviously. Round of 16, wasn't it? Going to quarterfinals, and there wasn't a lot of football really.
It was quite a few championship teams were involved, so that's kind of why Texas, Sunderland, Bristol City had no game. So that's kind of there was only a few championship matches on.
That's fair. Right, let's move on to the attackers. Evan Ferguson, Monday the 10th. Not even tomorrow. Troy Parrott, 90 minutes and a 3-1 loss against Heerenveen. Adam Ida, 64 minutes and a 5-2 win over St. Mirren. Tom Cannon, 17 minutes and a 2-1 win over QPR for Sheffield United. Sammy Smodic, Tuesday. He was back, so he should be playing. Festy Abasela, Monday. Istanbul play, but he probably is still injured. Casey McAteer, Sunday. Next Sunday with Leicester City. Mikey Johnson, 83 minutes in a 1-1 draw with Leeds. Chidozie Ogbenny, unfortunately, still out. Callum Robinson, 45 minutes and 2-0 loss against Aston Villa in the Cup there. Michael Obafemi not in the squad for Plymouth. Aaron Connolly, cup tied. Cup tied. Sinclair Armstrong, Saturday with Bristol. Tyler Goodrum, 90 minutes and an assist and a 3-2 loss against Coventry for Oxford United. Happy there, Mr. Adjudicator?
Actually, I forgot to say, Seamus Coleman is with Everton in Dubai, but he wasn't in team training. He was in light individual training. So it seems he's on the road to recovery, even though I thought he was on the road to recovery about 6 weeks ago. And there was some lads in there. Festy is in the same boat. I seen Istanbul were away on some team training camp or something last week, and he is back like doing stuff that's making him getting closer. You can see he was running, he was doing ball work and stuff. So I don't think he's that far away. And I think the only positive or standout for the forward line players that had a good weekend was Mikey Johnson. He got man of the match for West Brom against Leeds, away against Leeds, which is a very good sign if he's getting man of the match against the best team in the championship. And I have a question. Why is Rocco Vata down as a midfielder and Mikey Johnson's down as a forward? What way does that work? Who can you explain to our fan base? And to Martin.
Answer, Martin. Go on, Martin. Explain that.
I'm sorry. A minute ago, we heard very clearly you do the graphics because we're lazy bastards. So
You are lazy bastards.
Now you're not responsible. I mean, yeah. Look, just Michael Johnson. That's brilliant.
The squad changes. Fessy was a fucking right wing. Hold on, I'm gonna answer the question because fucking Fessy's like a right wing back. Now he's a forward. Probably have Josh Keeley up front in the next squad. I don't know.
What?
First top squad, is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well, John O'Shea is one of the coaches, so there you go.
Best Irish player of the last 10 years. Oh, Jesus Christ.
In a certain decade, he was. All right.
That's also available in the archive, folks. You want a good laugh, you can listen to. Well, actually, first of all, you can look at Martin's 11 or 10 or whatever it is, and then you can watch me school Connor on football.
Damien Duff.
So, sorry, who did you have? Shane Long?
Yeah, how does it? And you had Damien Duff in yours.
Yeah.
We better give a bit of context to this. It was between, when was it? Between
2010, 2020. And you have had Damien Duff in his top 10 for that decade, whilst all Damien Duff did in that decade was be shit at Fulham.
You had Shane Long in that because he scored one goal against Germany, and you didn't have James McLean in it. You didn't have James McLean in your tenure. He scored two vital goals.
Yeah, but you're forgetting club and country. It was about club and country.
And yet again,
Shane Long was our only Irish player across that decade to score more than 10 goals in a Premier League
my
campaign.
argument, but that compounds my point.
Yeah, well done there.
He scored fuck all goals.
He was the only Irish player that decade to score 10 goals across that in one season.
What, across 10 years?
No, in one season.
10 Premier League goals in 10 years for Shane Long. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
So you're trying to contradict yourself here.
No, I'm not trying to.
The fact you didn't even have him in your top 10.
The fact you didn't have James McLean over that is just outrageous.
No.
Martin, help me here.
I think as well, just
it's worse having John O'Shea as your number one. He shouldn't even be in the top 20.
Yeah. You show some respect to John O'Shea. That man won a Champions League, didn't he, Martin?
In 2008. There wasn't that decade.
Doesn't matter.
No, and he went on. He was brilliant with Sunderland.
And don't forget that goal against Germany as well. Superb.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about moments as well, Connor. All right.
Yeah, Shane Long's moment was a lot bigger against Germany.
No, that's different. That is completely different. Not the same type of moment. It was totally different, Martin, wasn't it? Because we were 1-0 down, seconds on the clock, and John O'Shea pulled it. I'm not going to have this.
He got us 1 point, and Shane Long got us.
Yeah, no. It's totally different, folks. Come on.
Right, move on.
You know, makes sense.
Move on.
But then just Pinazad's goal was very good, wasn't it, Connor? I mean, I'll give you a little moment to shine now. Just like it's a great goal, and I think is that his involvement in 20 goals or an assist?
10 goals, 10 assists. He has this season, the only player in the championship to be double figures in both. So it just shows why he's the best player in the world, to be honest, and that he has to be starting for Ireland every game as captain. Captain Finn is as to World Cup 2026 now, but I think it's good now because he wasn't playing well for a while, and now he's back to his best, and he was absolutely exceptional the other night against Stoke, and then got the winning goal there at the weekend against Derby, and I think he hit the post actually in the first half from quite long out as well. So he's full of confidence, and when he's playing with confidence, he's very hard to stop because his ability with both feet, not just scoring goals, but setting up goals. And when we go play Bulgaria in March, particularly in the home leg, they'll play quite deep, and it'll be a type of game that Finazaz should be able to, if we need someone to unlock something, he should be the player that we should rely on because and that sort of player, I think it's just himself and Andy Moore. And really, I don't even think Smodix is that type of player, although he's quite good in certain situations. He's not really that type of player you give the ball to and he makes something happen.
Right. Well, let's get into the comments, lads, shall we? Should we get into the comments?
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
Shall we do it? Let's see what the wonderful War Faithful have got to say. Oh, well, here we go. Strap yourself in. A big thank you to the 1,000. Have over 1,000 of you watching us of the Roar faithful. Brilliant support as always on a Sunday. And it is a quiet Sunday night. There's not a lot going on, but hopefully you're enjoying the pod and you're listening to Martin and I schooling Connor as we always do, week in, week out. No, it's just he's on his phone. He's on his phone.
He's on his phone. Like, these kids.
Yeah. They're just schooling me week in, week out. I just thought I'm not even lifting my head to this fella. He's
moody teenager, eh?
Yeah.
Don't worry. When I get him over to London, Martin, give him a good kicking. Because you're staying with. I mean, verbal kicking. Yeah, he's staying with me. God. Right. Actually, before we do it, guys, we're going to play that video again. If you want to get involved with our writing team, this is how you get involved. Really, I should have just played the video, shouldn't I? Fuck's sake. How's it going? David Dunn here from Lansdowne Roar, and I am calling out to anybody who wants to write about Irish football. That's right. If you want to write for Lansdowne Roar at lansdowneroar.ie and join our fantastic writers group over there, this is a great opportunity for you. It is a voluntary position, no experience required. However, all we ask is for you to be passionate and consistent, and also be able to string 2 cents together. Sorry, Martin, that leaves you out. It can be any level of Irish football that you want to talk about: men's, women's, seniors, juniors, League of Ireland, school league, anything at all that you want to express yourself about. This is for you. If you are an aspiring sports journalist, it's also a fantastic opportunity for you. We do have a wide reach. Of course, we have to stream every week, as you're probably watching us on now. So it's a great way to get yourself exposed in a positive way. If you want to get in contact, pod@lansdowneroar.ie. Also, Connor at lansdowneroar.ie, David at lansdowneroar.ie, Martin at lansdowneroar.ie. Or you can head over to our Facebook, our Instagram, or our Twitter, and you can contact us directly. Not a problem, and we'll get you sorted there. Apply below now. I could listen to him all day. I could listen to him read out the phone book. Actually, I could listen to him read out my fine that I got. Did I tell you I got fined? I meant to say at the top of the podcast. Yes. Open your eyes and your ears, Connor. I'm watching you. Yep, I got fined by Merton Council because this is a true story. I'm fighting it. Somebody nicked my Amazon parcel, which had rabbit food in it because I have a 3-legged bunny. I actually do have a 3-legged bunny. And yeah, it was in December. I rang up, said it was stolen, gave me a refund. No problem, is what it is. I come home on Saturday night, open up the post, and I get an FPN, a fixed penalty notice from Merton Council, fining me for littering it because he found the box the next day, opened, the package missing, and my name and address is on it. You couldn't write this shit, could you? True story. It'd be the most English thing ever, Martin, wouldn't it? Here you go. Jeff will love this. It'd be the most English thing ever, won't it, Martin, if I get fined? If I'm the victim of theft and get fined for it. Brilliant, isn't it?
That's the UK.
That is the UK.
That's what you get for having a British passport.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin, that's what you get for having a British passport. But Colin, don't be so sad. You know, Good Friday Agreement. You're entitled to an Irish one up there, aren't you?
At least we know one of them 2 things is true, and I don't even need to say what. I don't even need to say.
You are entitled to one, Connor. Don't sulk. It's okay. And besides,
I know we're going to go into the comments, but I just want to ask a couple of things. With the situation with Seamus Coleman, like not playing, and obviously we've said there in OBIG that he's off on the warm training camp with them. Do you think he'll be even in the squad? Do you think they'll even call him up? I think he'll be part of it, but like just around it. But I don't think he'll be playing. Do you?
No, I don't think he'll be in the squad, to be honest. I think he might go over to Dublin for Bulgaria to be around the squad or something. No, but I don't think he'll be. I don't think he will be.
Okay.
No. Okay, we're going to get into the comments there. A little bit of breaking news. Yeah, lads, just read your WhatsApp there. Seriously, read the WhatsApp. Right. We're going to get into the comments, guys. We've got over 1,000 of you watching us. Let's see it. Of course, brilliant support from you guys, as always. Baylor, James Abankwah. More like James is a banker for his upcoming squad announcement. I love it. Love it, Baylor. Hope you are well, sir. As always, and of course, Reid McLaughlin, Baylor, nice. Dean Flood, that's a good one, Baylor. Actually, I'm gonna. We don't normally use comments, kind of response to other people's comments, but we will for that one. Good man, Dean. Kieran Leog, is it realistic to see Heimer have the 4 defenders, all the centre backs, Scales, Collins, O'Brien, O'Shea? What do you reckon, chaps?
I think that's where Prandy robbed his idea from. Not gonna lie, I think Prandy looks at that.
I wasn't at all. Not at all. Matt Doherty'd be starting anyway, won't he?
No, it's not guaranteed. I think it'll be Jake O'Brien. I think Matt Doherty might start the home leg, but I think the way he might play Jake there. I don't know what he'll do. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. I don't know. I think it's hard. It's good that we have this predicament where we don't know who's going to play right back after having a couple of years where it was just Doherty, and because Coleman was injured the whole time. So although it's Doherty still in the mix, but he's somewhat, you could say he's at the stage where he has proved it if he's going to start in March. But it's a good situation we have, to be honest. Or we could play Abankwah there even if we have to.
Dean Flood, how you doing again, Dean? I could see Scales getting dropped for Abankwah. Yeah, I think we talked about it earlier on, didn't we? I think that's pretty much what's going to happen as well. But of course, no Seamus Coleman also. Or do you reckon he's going to? I think you guys just mentioned it, didn't you? Like he's probably be included in the squad, but he won't play just to have that leadership, or.
No. Yeah, I mean that was my question about Seamus Coleman. It's basically, there's not a lot of leaders and within that squad, and my worry about that is if you look back to the England game at Wembley when they capitulated, and they're very vulnerable mentally. I think didn't manage the game, didn't reset themselves, rash challenges, chaotic defending when the ball's in the box. Roy Keane picked up on it in the commentary of Variety V, which I watched back. And that's what you do need your leadership, I think. I do have a Roy Keane thing to come back to you actually on soon.
Oh Jesus!
Right, can I just bring it in now? Do you mind if I bring this in now? The bit where I watched this earlier. I'm gonna share this on our Lansdowne Raw X. So LRaw_pod on X. It's Steve Bruce's video diary from 95 season for Man United. And it's the one where they play the FA Cup semi-final. And, he stamps on Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
I forgot this, but on the video clip of this, and it shows him being sent off and that outrageous stamp. But then the next day, Roy Keane's on crutches. Do you remember this, Dave? He's got 6 stitches in his ankle. And he's out. He's injured.
Because of...
It was because of that challenge that he got in that game.
I don't like violence. Like, I mean, I like seeing people kick lumps out of each other to a degree, as long as no one gets hurt. And I'm not the biggest Roy Keane fan. What I will say is though that Gareth Southgate deserved that stamp because he did try to break. Yeah, he did actually try to break Roy Keane's leg. And look, I'm not the biggest Roy Keane fan. I'm really not. Martin will tell you because I always school him on Roy Keane. But if you do look at that, he does.
Ronnie Whelan.
Sorry, how many?
Go on. You were saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Champions League finals. Did Ronnie Whelan play in Champions League?
It's the same fucking cup, Martin. Doesn't make a difference, does it?
Good thing it's a team game.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, and his leg is like standing, and he almost breaks it. So yeah, he deserved it. Even Dennis Seaman ran over, gave him a mouthful. So I didn't realize he had the stud marks, but yeah, it would make sense. It was a nasty challenge.
How did we get into Roy Keane, by the way? What was the relevance?
Because Martin was
I was just talking about Roy Keane, talking about how mentally fragile Ireland are, and how I'm concerned about the lack
all
of
I can say is about Seamus Coleman. Seamus Coleman was injured in October and November, and we had a home game in each camp. Plus we had England in London, the country he lives, and I don't think he was there for any of that. So I would imagine probably he won't come in this, but maybe if he's fit, he'll probably be picked. Like if he's back, if he plays this weekend for Ipswich, Everton, or is on the bench, they might pick him, but I don't think he really can, to be honest, because O'Brien is there and stuff.
Right, let's move it on. Oh, and a rogue shout out of Cannon being dropped for Robinson or maybe Armstrong.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. Get a Cannon out of the squad. He's been useless for Sheffield United. Absolutely dreadful.
He hasn't been good.
No, people talk about Cannon this side. He's movement excellent, finishing brilliant, hold up play dreadful, link up play dreadful. Show him for the ball, doesn't show for the ball unless he puts the ball in behind from. He his ability to be a very good player. Sheffield United slapped the price on him or slapped a fee on him that was probably not worth paying at the moment. In the future, yeah, but I think that's put a lot of pressure on him since he's gone to Sheffield United. He is he's really struggled, and I think what we have in the Ireland squad, he's more like Troy Power and Adamida and Ferguson than he's like Sinclair. And Sinclair Armstrong is such a different, unique profile. Callum Robinson, no, please God, no, please God, no. I will probably shoot myself if that happens, but it probably could happen because he's scoring goals. But no, Sinclair, I'd have him in the squad in the morning. Completely different profile.
Just don't do it in my flat.
There's only one room. There's only room for one Callum in that squad.
Have you got something to tell us here, Martin? Have you got something to tell us here, Martin? Have you got something?
Said Leplin, who's eligible for potential call-ups, please? Kind of, this is as quick as you can because I know we've gone to town on this one.
Abankwah, O'Brien, Sinclair, Rockovata, and anyone else they're probably not involved in the squad at the moment. You probably say Dennis Serkin.
Yeah, I think O'Brien, obviously, he's been in the squad before, but he'll get back. He'll get back in, definitely. Nick, Abankwah's dribbling is insane for his centre half. His pace is phenomenal as well. The future is bright, and he adds to it. Also, fuck Stoke. Yeah, no, he touched on that. He is some player. Largest legs that Connor's ever seen, bless him. Old dude 420, starting back 4 for World Cup qualifiers. O'Brien, Collins, Abankwah. Scales? Oh, no Scales for me.
For the World Cup qualifiers, no. Like no. I can't see Scales. Like you said, Dave, it was probably in all the years we've been doing this now, that was probably the thing I would probably agree with you on. That Scales, I think, struggles at this level.
He's not international level.
He's done on, but in fairness, he has done all right. Like, except that red card against England and the time he played left back for Ireland, he actually has done well for Ireland when he's played. But you can tell we have better options in that position. I think as simple as
he's a bit like. I don't mean to sound. I really don't mean to sound mean or disparaging, but he's a bit like. What's his name? Cyrus Christie coming in. You know, it's a bit like if you're not playing against tippy top opposition, maybe against Bulgaria, yeah, okay, you wouldn't mind if you had an injury. You know, you had an injury scare or you had an injury problem, but you wouldn't play him against your top 2 or 3 teams in your group, really. You know, or you wouldn't play him against the top 2, for example. You know, we're obviously third seeds. You wouldn't play him the 2 above you. You'd probably play him in the 1 or 2 below you, but you wouldn't really want him, as you saw against England or against the top teams, because he's just not up to it. Sorry. I don't like being mean to play. I really don't.
I think that's the only opinion that you can give to Celtic fans that they'll actually agree with, because we know what Celtic fans are like. They're
Green Brigade.
They're very, very, very like. I have green tinted glasses on for Irish footballers, but they take everything to another level. But I think they're quite staunch, and they're not really the biggest Liam Scale fans. Although I still think he is a good player, and he is getting a bit of a rough treatment with Trusty starting over him. I just don't think. I think it's as simple as we've better options in that position. Like, compared to even if he would have said 3-4 years ago, he would have been a start to make every single Ireland squad. But because we have so many options in that position, you kind of just say, yeah, we'd better.
A lot of questions here. Just going to go. A lot of comments here about Scales. I'll just go through them because we've kind of done it to death. But I agree with this one, Baylor. Ditzy call up around the corner. I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. What's that? Phone ringing. Hello. It's a Ditzy call up. What do you think of that, Martin?
Nonsense. We should have a clip of Roy Keane. Nonsense.
Nonsense.
We play to those kind of.
Why does that be Roy Keane? Like, we're not trying to.
Because that's what he says.
I think everyone has seen enough of Roy Keane on our screens every week. Roy Keane, this fucking with the stick to football now, he's never off it. So just
respect on his name.
You know, Martin.
I respect him as a footballer, but not as a pundit. He's absolutely useless as a pundit.
You know what Martin's like, don't you? When he fucking shares like a Roy Keane thing, love Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Roy.
Have you met Roy, Martin? Yeah, you have. Yeah, I'd imagine you have. Yeah. And do you have a good relationship when you met him, or was he very standoffish and didn't want to talk to you?
I bet you
I've met
fucked him off.
I've met him a few times.
I bet you he fucked you off, didn't he? Go on, a minute. He fucked you
he's
off.
never fucked me off. No, I've seen him.
Well, not the way you want to be
in my
fucked off,
company.
but
No, he's been all right, and other times, yeah, he can be. I've seen him, and I've been nice as fine to me. And then he's been next minute he's been Roy Keane the other way. No, not to me. He was fine with us.
When you say fine, what do you mean fine? You mean as if
he was quite engaging. He was asking us questions, saying, "Oh, we're off to."
Why are you following me? Those sort of questions.
No, European game we were going, and he said, "Oh, you were there before. Is that a good spot? Looking forward to it, and all this kind of stuff." Yeah, he was very engaging. But I've seen him just if people don't approach him the right way, if they want a photo with him and stuff, you can just see when he doesn't want to engage and that kind of thing.
Like every day. I always remember when I was interviewing Noel in Tbilisi, and there was Mick McCarthy came out to there was a couple of fans in the Irish team hotel, and there was a couple of lads sitting at the bar. You're probably watching this, lads. Well, apparently one of them put Mick in a headlock.
Jesus.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't see it now, but I believe me, I have it on great authority. Yeah, he put him in a headlock and fucking oh God. Like he didn't like that.
No.
I bet he didn't. John O'Sullivan, did you watch First Seat tonight, Dave? Damn, John, I didn't. No, I was too busy putting OBIG together and getting it completely wrong. Hope you're well, John. And it's our favourite bit of Dublin in London. Dean Flood, I like Scales, and I would feel bad for him if the last time he plays for Ireland is that England game, and that is his Ireland legacy. It won't be his last time. He'll come in again, but he won't be a regular. I don't think he'll be a regular starter anyway. Donny Nagel, guys, Abankwah could play 6 also, which we desperately need. Imagine him with his attributes there. Have to try it. So we've had Collins as number 6. Did we go Abankwah?
No. Probably go play there, but no. No. I just want to see midfielders play midfield.
I want to see left backs play left back, Connor, but we don't all get what we fucking want, do we? So yeah, Liam Hewitt, I like Scales, but agree, Dave. Good man, Liam. We have much better centre backs. I do like Scales. I do think Scales is still going to be in the squad going forward with him being a left-footed centre back. Not many of them around. Well, we have Aaron Cashin, I believe. He's just not getting a bloody game. I'd almost argue for a Shane Duffy call-up over McGuinness or off McGuinness.
I think over. I think it's over.
Oh, Connor's not going to like that. Liam Hewitt, I'd love Garcia McNulty or McGuinness before Duffy. We need to move on. I'll do 420. Who's our left back moving forward? I guess people are hoping for Sirkin. Pretty much, old dude. We don't know. The FAI do keep this very close to their chest. He was being watched, whether inadvertently or purposely, for Sunderland when it was Sunderland Burnley. And of course, Connor, you flagged that, didn't you? You got a bit of a mention there in balls.ie. And he was there watching Sirkin. Possibly, who was the other lad he was after? There was 3 players.
CJ Egan Riley, who plays for Burnley, and obviously Joe Bellingham plays for Sunderland.
Yeah, but we reckon Sirkin. Sirkin's born in Dublin, so he's ours. Kieran, what do you think of the idea of Garcia McNulty as a left back for us? That's probably one for you, Connor.
Yeah, we played there last season. Probably good at left back, but I'd probably say the 3 left backs at the moment are probably better left backs than him, because he was doing it in Dutch league, which obviously isn't. It's all right standard. Some of the teams are really good, some of the teams are really poor. But I've seen him say himself that he told the manager that this season he only wanted to play centre back because that's what he feels is his best position long term and where he can probably get to the highest level at. So yeah, I don't think he really enjoys playing left back, to be honest.
Fair enough. Liam Hewitt, hoping it's Sirkin left back, but if not, he's not in the squad. It will be Brady. I think we'll have Brady, Collins, O'Brien, and O'Shea. Could see him keep O'Shea right back like last window. Baylor, you're not going to like this, Connor. I know picking CR7 is a step back, but he is one of our only players that is scoring at a high enough level.
He's crap.
Mark, what do you?
He's crap.
Mark,
Yeah,
come in on this.
I think I've said it on the group and stuff. These players have this habit of scoring goals just before the squad's going to be announced, and they come into form, and or they, you know,
he got hooked against
that's
us.
all they do.
He got hooked. You know, Martin. Do you know, Dave? Do you know what you need to do when Callum Robinson is when you see the stats, you see him scoring goals, you get your glasses on, use your glasses, and you watch him play for 90 minutes, and then you say is he playing well or not, and then you'll know.
Yeah. Look, Ronan Curtis scored, didn't he? Ronan Curtis scored. I think you missed him out of OBIG.
We did.
Put Dizzy in there.
Shadipo scored in the second tier of Portugal a couple of weeks ago. We might call him up because he scored a goal. But like
Jesus.
I just don't want Callum Robinson. I just want young players that are actually the future of Irish football and are actually good and offer something to the game for 90 minutes. Now, someone we're just looking at is a good. In fairness, he is a good finisher. Callum Robinson is a very good finisher at both feet, but he's past his best, and he was brilliant for Ireland a couple of years ago. Seems a very likable fella. Whilst he's in the camp, he seems to love being there. Probably is a decent leader in terms of talking to young lads, but just be better options.
Well, I'm Baylor. I'm gonna bail you out on this one. I'm sure you never heard that one before. No, look, I get what Baylor's saying. I genuinely do get what he's saying. I'm just gonna put the comment up here. Look, international football. I know, like back in the day, international football was a form game. It was all about people on form, and that's how you get a call up. You'd get a guy. I remember David Conley, for example, on the Brian Kerr. I think it was a game against Switzerland. I think the last group game was the Euro 2004 qualifier. Yeah. We lost 2-0, and he hadn't been in the squad for ages, but he did really well. He was banging in goals, I think, for Sunderland or one of those teams, and got him in. I think he scored in the previous game. He was doing really well. He got called up, but he hadn't featured for ages. I mean, I remember those days. That is kind of what they used to do back in the day with international football. Now, Conley came in. He stunk up the joint in that game. But I think that's where Baylor's coming from. Like, sometimes you do have to deviate away from the club mentality and go, look, who's on form? Because sometimes international football is just about who's on form and who's not on form.
Yeah, I think it's more about. Sometimes I think form goes out the window though, especially with Ireland. We've seen a lot of lads that have been very poor club level, and then they've come into Ireland, and it's like a light's been shining underneath them, and it's turned into world beaters. Like we saw the Irish players would, instead of if they gave 100% at club level, they were 120% when they played for Ireland. They used to go to another level. Like we see players like Richard Keogh used to be brilliant for Ireland. Glenn Whelan, even when Glenn Whelan struggled at club level, he was still absolutely brilliant for Ireland at times.
Yeah, a good man.
Yeah. So I think. I just like want to watch football. Like when you watch these players play, you just know who's better at football and who's not. And I don't see where Callum Robinson fits in an Ireland senior setup with Ferguson ahead of him, Troy Power at Alameda. Like I'd have
who hasn't played.
Yeah, but he's still
playing.
I'd rather Ferguson on one leg, but I just think because Callum Robinson, he's not like it's like you look at these opponents, you're like, where does he fit in these games? It's like, are you going to bring him on in the last 5 minutes to get your goal? Because that's not really what he's going to do.
In all due respect, though, with all due respect to Evan Ferguson, Ferguson's not playing for West Ham. He's coming on for bits and pieces. My brother-in-law, they're all off to Mexico in the morning, bastards. He was saying he's a West Ham fan, and he said you could tell by Evan Ferguson he had a chance there, and can't remember the guy. He had two forwards, him and Jusek, is it? And he hit it to Ferguson. Ferguson took a touch, took another touch, and then the shot was blocked. He's completely.
Who is Jusek?
I don't know. Whoever the
you just created a popular there.
Hey, there's some lad there that plays for West Ham. I don't know. I don't watch West Ham.
Kudus?
Huh?
Was it Mohamed Kudus?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whoever. Yeah.
Jusek.
Martin there goes.
Jusek.
Oh yeah.
Jusek.
Like Martin. No, fuck off, Martin. What you
I do know.
Anyway, whatever. That does not negate my point. So don't even go there. That does not negate my point. My point is, and I'm agreeing with Baylor there a little bit. I see where Baylor's coming from. Baylor, good man. All seriousness, Ferguson, as I said, took a touch, took another touch, Shot was blocked. He's not match sharp. He's not getting the minutes. Potter wants to ease him in gently. It's not happening for him. So, is there much point in if he's still playing dribs and drabs? Now, listen, he could start the next game. I don't know if he will or not. There's plenty of rest time. Actually, that's a bad thing because, he's over a week for his next game. Did he even play during the week, West Ham? They did, didn't they?
They played on
10 days.
Thursday.
Yeah, so there's over a week in between games. So he's not getting the games, Connor. And if he's not match sharp for West Ham, he sure as fuck won't be.
Yeah, that's why we start. That's why you start Troy Powers, or that's why you start Adam Eden. That's why we have options in that position. I'm not just saying one person, but you're not going to drop Evan Ferguson because Callum Robinson is scoring goals in the Championship. And Callum Robinson, like, I know the last goal he scored was against Hull City. He scored a volley that was deflected into the bottom corner.
Still, more than what Ferguson's done.
Don't care. He's still better than Callum Robinson in football.
I've no doubt he's a better player, but
would you pick if Callum Robinson scores again this weekend and Ferguson plays another 20 minutes? So would you pick Callum Robinson for the Ireland squad over Ferguson?
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be going straight for Ferguson or whatever. I'd be having a look because that'd be a massive call. That I do accept that would be a massive call. If you're a manager, but you'd have to look at all the options: who's scoring, who's playing. You need goals from somewhere.
Yeah, but you need to watch these guys play to know who actually is good at football, who's going to offer something. I know. Because our strikers don't score anyway, even if they're on form for international in club level. They come into our setup and they don't really score anyway. It's like, who's going to offer?
I'm not arguing who's a better player, but right now, international football is about form. It's not club football, it's international football. It's about form. Who's on form now? Who's on form for the club? And I know there are some players that can do it internationally, can't do it at club level. But as a general rule, it can be on form.
Yeah.
Look, do you want to put... Sorry, Matt, go on.
No, my thing on Callum Robinson, I just think that a few things with him. Great lad. Met him a few times. Really good. I'm sure he's really positive around the squad and stuff, but I think it's just time to move on a little bit. I think he will always take the call up, though, if it's made. And for a bit of consistency, Hyman might pick him in there just because he is in form. He is scoring goals. This is what he's been doing now. But for me, Ferguson is the one for the future. Even if he's not playing, I think we've got to trust him and show him a bit of love in international football to get him going again, because we aren't going to be reliant on him the next 10 years if he can break through at that level and really prove himself. So that's where I am with that. I think one player who we may not see again in an Ireland shirt is Obafemi. I think the end's there for him.
It's bad, isn't it?
And I see actually there's a comment later on that it should Connolly be called up. I'd be very surprised if he can.
He hasn't really
go on a run and resurrect.
He has been playing. No, he has been playing well. In fairness, he's
been playing all right. Well. But
I think he's more of a. I think Martin, to be honest, just on Connolly, I think at this stage he's more of a winger option than he is up front. It's actually interesting that when he played for Hull a couple of seasons ago, and he was very good before he got that. Remember when he got knocked out by Angus Gunn and he broke his collarbone at the same time? He was playing up front. And Liam Delap was playing on the right wing because Aaron Connolly was seen as the more clinical, better striker under Rosinha. And the two of them actually linked up very well. And then it got past that end that season. Connolly came back. Murray came back towards the end of the season. He just wasn't right. And then he said recently about his troubles with alcohol. And I think Connolly could work his way back in because he's shown at Millwall how talented he actually is. And that he actually is a really good player. I don't think Connolly's time in Ireland jersey is up. I think just the last couple of weeks he picked up a knock, didn't he? And then he was cup tied at the weekend. So I don't think we can say Connolly's time is up in an Ireland jersey. I could see Connolly, particularly next season, having a really big year in the Championship. I could see him he's scoring 10 plus goals at what I could see him doing what Callum Robinson's doing basically, but that little bit extra, and he has a pace to play as a winger. And like we've seen him had very good performances for Ireland against decent teams. So I think Connolly not yet, but I think for the time being.
What about have you heard anything about Obafemi, or is he injured, or?
I don't think I think he just doesn't be picked.
No, yeah, that's not good. I mean, that lad, no matter where he goes, he just doesn't settle in. He does not settle in. I don't care. He doesn't. Swansea
was the only place, but then because he forced through the move to Burnley, he did say. The thing is, he settled in at Swansea, was scoring for fun brilliantly, and then the big money move to Burnley came around. And his head was swayed, and he never. Do you remember it was meant to be the summertime he was going to go, and his head was swayed, and he really wanted to go. and then he kind of, I don't know whether he just didn't turn up to training because of it, or told Russell Martin, who was the manager at the time, that he wanted to go, and then it happened in January, and then he just hasn't done anything since that January.
Yeah, no, it's not good. We'll try and move through somebody. We got actually an interesting one here from Fionnan. Am I saying that right? Finnan Darcy.
Could be Fionn.
Fionn Darcy. How you doing, Fionn?
Could be Finnan.
Can you all say your starting team against Bulgaria? Be interested to see if you give anyone a chance, if it is your choice. Hi, Connor.
I nominate Martin to go first.
I'm just writing out now, so
because he's going to copy me. He's going to copy me, Dave.
I'm not going to copy you.
Well, Dave might copy me, so Dave, you go first.
I'm the producer slash fucking host, so I nominate you guys. You go first.
All right then. And goals. Josh Keeley, left back. Goals Kelleher, and then I'll have O'Brien right back. I'd have Brady left back, presuming there's no circle or anything like that. And then I'd have Collins and O'Shea back for the two centre halves, and then I would have Josh Cullen as the number 6. I would have William Smallbone as number 8, with Finn Azaz as a number 10. I'd have Rocco Vata on the left, or Rocco Vata on the right, Mikey Johnson on the left, and Evan Ferguson up front. But it depends on the system if he goes with us 4-4-2 again, because Smodics could play on the left like he's done before, but he hasn't really played much minutes as of late because of injuries and stuff. But like I wouldn't be against throwing John Joe Patrick Finn in and just playing him, because he's playing 90 minutes at a higher level than any other of our midfielders. Or I know Smallbone played. They played about 80 odd minutes against Chelsea last midweek, but that's kind of it. Like, but in terms of the level they're playing at, John Joe Patrick Finn's probably playing at the highest. So I wouldn't really be against throwing him in, starting him, but I just don't think you'd start him on an international debut if he comes into the squad.
And yourself, Martin? You look like you're about to fall asleep.
Same. No, Kelleher, O'Shea, Collins, O'Brien, Robbie Brady, I think would be there.
What? This is your preferred starting 11. This is your preferred. This isn't your.
What?
This is what you think Heimer would go with. So you would pick Robbie Brady over Callum O'Dowda?
Yeah, I think Brady will play.
No, it's not who you think will play. It's who you want to play.
Oh, who I want to play?
Yeah, who you'd want the starting team to be like.
I'll have to do that again then, won't I?
Sure, surely you're not going off your favourites. You just who you would think would win us the match by best option, and I'd imagine you'd have O'Dowda in that.
I would.
You don't let me finish my team. Okay, ready? That's it. Robbie Brady, I still think would be my left back. And then I've got Cullen, Will Smallbone, cousin Will, Jason Knight. I think will play on the right, or Doherty. I think he will come and bring back in. I think he will just go with that experience with that. O'Dowda on the left and Ferguson up front.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
That behind. Okay.
What's this, a 5? So you're playing what, a 3-5-1-1?
3-4. Well, two sitting. Cullen and cousin Will. Finnazaz in front. Jason Knight out on the right. And O'Dowda. Nothing wrong with that. Why are we playing
Jason Knight right wing back? I actually probably would start Jason Knight over cousin Will, to be honest, because Jason Knight's he just got player of the month actually for Bristol City, and he's having a brilliant season. And Will Smallbone, doesn't seem to play, but not right wing back. Why are we back playing 3 at the back for this team? I want to see wingers. I want to see wingers in Ireland again, not O'Dowda as a wing back. Oh.
There you go.
So where's Robbie Brady playing?
He's playing
left
back.
Have you put that
4 at the back?
So you're playing Callum O'Dowda as a left mid and Jason Knight as a right mid?
Yes.
Oh my God. My one, obviously,
and Will. Yeah. And then Finnazaz in behind Ferguson. That's my team. Sorry, can't we have different opinions?
No. No, he's a youngster. He's a snowflake. He'll cancel you if you have a different opinion from him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He'll be on the Twitter now cancelling you there, Martin. Yeah, I mean, for me, Kelleher in goal, right back O'Shea, Collins. Right back O'Brien. 4-4-2. Keep it simple, stupid. Perry's. O'Brien, Collins, O'Shea. Left back, I would prefer to see Sirkin because we need a left back. I would prefer to see him. I'm not saying he is going to be in the squad. If he's not in, then okay, I suppose Robbie Brady because I don't really know who else we have there. Yeah, Cullen. I would go with Cullen. I would go with Jason Knight. Probably. It depends really because I'd like to have Finn Azaz, but I'm not really going to play him unless. I suppose you could play him. Could you? You could play Finn Azaz next to. You couldn't really play Finn Azaz next to Cullen.
No, you wouldn't play him.
It has to be an advanced. Yeah. So if I was going 4-4-2, yeah, I'd just probably go with. On the left, I'd obviously have. I'd have Mikey Johnson on the left. Up front, I'd probably go with Parrott and. Actually, no, I'd like to have Smolich in behind. I would start Smolich and Parrott, but Smolich behind Parrott, like a 4-4-1.
I get it. This is what I think he's going to go with. This is what I think he'll go with for the way, like, of experience wise. I think he'll go with Kelleher. I think he'll go with Doherty at right back just for experience in this young team, and then I think he'll go with O'Shea, Collins, Brady, and then I think he'll go Cullen, Knight, Smodix playing left mid, and I think he will go with anyone possibly in because it would have been if Festi is fit. I think he'll play Festi right mid, and then he'll play Azaz and Ferguson. Because if you remember Finland away, the front six was Cullen, Knight, Smodix on the left, Ogbene on the right, and then it was Azaz and Ferguson in the front two. So I think he'll actually go with something like that in the way, like just for where like solidity and all that.
Well, you cut me off before I could actually finish on my team. Thank you, Connor. As a right, I'm just as a right midfielder. I'll let you guys pick your team. As a right midfielder, if he's ready to go, will be Festi, obviously, as a right winger. I think 4-4-1-1. Simple. Give the two lads making the runs down the wing, pumping the box full of balls. You are. And then basically you've got Smolich, who's brilliant through the centre behind. I like Parrott. I know Parrott is probably going form at the moment. He maybe the big fella, Evan Ferguson. All right, then you'd have probably change that a little bit. Probably go. No, I'll go with Parrott because I want to continue my argument with form. You'd have Parrott up front, Smolich in behind, and he could play through the centre.
What about Jack Taylor? Would he even make the squad? Because I know he played well when he came in, but like he's playing
hasn't played enough for Ipswich. I think my team lineup is basic. I think it does the job. You got balls coming in on both sides. You got the two lads up front in the box, and you've also got the option of Smolich playing through the middle as well. And I think Parrott's hold of play is excellent. But if he can, the problem with Parrott is if the two Bulgarian lads at the back, I'd imagine because Bulgarian players tend to be quite tall, especially the defenders, they'll probably bully him out, and you might need to get like a bigger fella like Ida. You might need to get Ferguson for the physical side of it.
But I think you're right in terms of I think the shape will be a 4-4-1-1 as such. I think that's what the shape he'll go with. Although I'd like to see him play with wingers, but I just think because of the way leg and just because of just wanting to win a game more than taking him, he'd probably see it as a more of a risk going if he went with a 4-4-3 or Prendy's 3-5-2 of complete negativity. No, I think he would go to 4.
I think you said I've got 4 at the back. I'm a 4-4-2.
No, your 4-4-2 is on the planet cuckoo land, but I say the complete negativity. That's Callum.
Well, you can't say mine's negative. I'm giving you options. 4-4.
I think I would actually say Mikey Johnson. I'd have no problem with him playing left wing.
So Callum's on the bench.
I'd probably play him up top now.
How do you just fit him in?
Wingers like I am like you. I like old school 4-4-2. I do like playing wingers, but right wing I think again is a bit of a problem for us as well. Maybe Festi there, but
Rocco Vada's played a lot on the right in the past. I'd play him there.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you want those lads like Boston Lowell and you want Finazaz and all that, you can't play 4-4. 4-4-2 or 4-4-1 or any.
You've got to
variation
dominate
of it.
that midfield. You've got to throw
You
three in
could
there
play
and
Boston a
overload.
while. If Boston was playing football at the moment, you could play him there easily. But he just doesn't play football at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna. If I was Heimer, I just keep it simple. There's enough there. Just keep it simple. Everyone knows what they're doing. Don't overload them with instructions. Keep it simple. Your wingers, you run down the fucking wing. Simple. You big lump up the front. Get ready to either knock it down for
But
the small
Mm.
fella, Smolic, or if you need an option, play through the centre. Smolic, his hold of play is brilliant. You know, there's all these different options.
Dave, I
Simple.
would be almost. I'd say I'd be 80%. Just it would be with Ferguson because of fitness related and how many minutes between now and he plays between now much. But I'd be almost certain if Everton stays the same and Ferguson starts playing more minutes for West Ham, our 5 of our front 6 as such will be Smodix on the left, Cullen, Knight, and then it'll be Azaz and Ferguson. I think he'll go so similar to how we played against Finland away in that sort of system, because that was the front 6 when we played Finland away, who would be, I would say, as a tougher opposition than Bulgaria.
All right, let's get on with the a load of comments to come through. Thank you for that, Fionnan. I hope I haven't offended you there.
I guess Finon.
Donny Nangle, all this talk about CBs when midfield is the issue. Nothing improves until this is fixed. We do have players coming through. They're just not playing. Busting a while. John Joe is playing. He's just...
You hate that man.
I don't. I like him. But from what I've seen of him, he's not played in the right position. He's playing in a poor team. So, unfortunately, you're not getting to see the best of him. You're seeing a side of him. They all have to... It's all hands on deck. They're going to get relegated. They are going to get relegated. They've lost like last 6 games. I think he's a good player. Might have seen him. He's got a good football brain. He's technically very, very comfortable, but he's not a number 6. He's
I think we have to just put him in the squad and see like if he impresses in training. And they're still not in the relegation zone, still 2 points out of it. So, and the thing is, if they finish 16th, to go into a relegation playoff. So,
if it was a friendly, yeah. Reason why, and I'd play him to put him in the shop window, because when Stade Ram get relegated, and they are going to get relegated, you put in the shop window and you have other clubs look at them. But you're not gonna do that. Now, you could do in the summer, bring him in the summer, show him, see what he's about. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to take that chance of the playoff because he hasn't done enough. He has not done enough. Nick, Bulgaria new manager bounce against us. Fantastic. And Dean Flood says as well, oh God, new manager bounce for Bulgaria. Frank says, yep. He also saw it on Twitter too about the Bulgaria manager leaving. Of course, that will break tomorrow. Liam Hewitt, did anyone see John Joe play the other night? He played full night despite losing 3-0. Didn't watch it, Liam. I'm only going.
Suppose he played well.
Yeah, as well as he can in a team that lost 3-0 to Monaco. But look, I mean, good player. He is a good player. I think there's a lot of ability there. There's a lot of potential there. But right now, I think he's too raw. That's my opinion.
Put him in.
Darren O'Grady got to try some options in midfield. There you go.
You just have to try it. I think that's it, Dave. I know you were saying that. It's not like a centre half, though, and he's doing it in the French league as a centre half, because it'd be completely different if we were talking about with a defender. The fact he's a centre mid and our options there are pretty dire, to be honest. I think you just put him in. Put him in the squad, because what is the difference in having him in the squad and having, I know you talk about Callum Robinson, and if Callum Robinson's not going to play a minute, and even if John Joe Patrick Finn doesn't play a minute, at least we're bedding another midfielder into the squad, which is badly needed in terms of at least trying. Even if he doesn't even play in March, I think you just bring him into the squad and get him adapted to the international setup. And if he keeps improving towards the end of the season, that means that you have an international that's already been in the squad, knows what it takes to play international football for Ireland. And there's no, I don't think we're, do you think we're, I don't think we're losing it by adding him into the squad.
I don't know. It depends who you want to take out. Who'd you take out? Will Smallbone. He's not going to take out Josh Cullen. I know. I don't know who he's going to come in for. It's right. Is Jason Lumley suspended? He's suspended, isn't he? Is he suspended for the next game? Or am I making that up?
He might be.
I think he got a yellow card, didn't he? He got suspended.
Yeah.
When he got thrown to the ground by Kyle Walker, was it? Threw him to the ground?
It was Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Maybe. Yet again, if there's an injury crisis, or a suspension crisis, then yeah, bring him out. As you said, look, I don't think we lose anything. It'd be interesting to see. It's just because it's a playoff. It was a friendly, absolutely. If he's not included in March, bring him in June.
He's had 2 yellow cards in Nations League. I think it's 3 to get suspended, so I don't think Malone be suspended.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it's 3.
Frank continues, like our new manager bounced last September. You gotta laugh, haven't you? Downtown, anyone worried about the form of the strikers, especially Ferguson, who seems struggling for a while now? I am. We talked about it earlier on there.
No, don't worry. We've Callum Robinson.
Wow. Civil war here on Lansdowne Roar Live. Yeah, I am. Troy Parrott, as I said, is doing very well. I think he's nearly 20 goals. He must be about 17 goals now. But he's a bit lightweight for me. As I said, he'd be concerned against physical players because in Dutch football, it's not very physical. Let's be honest. It's more about the technique, and he's a lovely footballer. Adam Ida, very sporadic. He doesn't score a lot of goals, but he does score important goals. Evan Ferguson is not match fit. Sami Smodic isn't. He's kind of on the bench at the moment, so he's only come back from injury. I mean, it could be time, Connor. Did see? He could answer the call.
I thought you were going to say Sinclair Armstrong. I thought you were going to get me even more excited. But no, I get Sinclair Armstrong in the squad. If you watch Sinclair Armstrong over the last month, he's been absolutely brilliant. Obviously, the goals haven't come, but his all-around play and what he offers, Martin agrees with me. Just get him in.
I do agree with you. Yeah.
Get Tom Cannon. We'll see you. We'll see you in 6 months. We don't need to see you. You can work your way back in the Sheffield United team. We want to see our boys. Hopefully, he scores this weekend, and then I can fully just rant on about him. Should be getting picked.
Yeah, just don't put your bets on about players starting, Connor. You know, I'm actually kicking myself there because he wanted to bet me. He said €50, didn't he? I should have gone with €50. I'm fucking kicking myself, but literally like taking candy from a baby. Tony Howard, hi lads. Watch the Stoke Watford game. Brutal match. Great cure for insomnia. Agree with Connor. Abankwah at times looked like the only footballer on the pitch. Not only an excellent player, but he looks tough as nails. Why he took the guy out on his debut, didn't he? Has to be in the squad of not a team. Yeah, I agree with that. We've covered that in long form already, but yeah, definitely. Nick John Joe played well against Angers in the cup, or Angers in the cup. Didn't do as well against Monaco though. Still good. He's getting minutes. They are a very poor side though, Nick.
Oh, they're into the semi-final at least. They're into the. I think they play against a 4th-tier French team in the semi-finals. So, which is good for a 4th-tier team to get to a semi-final. But
so 2 Irish players will hopefully. There's a good chance that you'll have 2 Irish players playing in the French Cup final 2 years running.
Yeah, it is. They're playing against Cannes, and PSG are playing against Duker. So it'll be PSG probably against Stade Rennes, who Duker Q are in Ligue 2, whatever you say for 2 in French. But he is so it's likely we'll see him. Jake O'Brien actually played in it last season, lost to PSG, and he scored actually. I remember he scored in it, but
header, 2-0 down. Yeah, Mbappe's last game.
So no, it'd be good to see John Joe Patrick Finn get to a cup final.
Yeah, no, I'm nothing against the lad. He looks a player, but he's really unfortunate. He's playing on a really poor side. Tony Howard again, really pissed. Boston spent the match on the bench again. With what was on display in that game, I think he'd get a run. Run, let alone Boston. Oh, sorry, I think I'd get a run. Sorry, Tony, I think I'd get a run, let alone Boston. Yeah, I mean, 0-0. He's just not happening for him, is it?
Mark Robbins, just go to bed.
The man who saved Fergie's job.
We've moved on for that. Just see if Boston Lawal's career and get him back in the team because your midfield is crap.
That's what Nick says. Yeah, Stoker Gash. Free my boy Bosun. Free Bosun. Very quickly in this one, Connor, for you. Any word on how Festi is doing in Turkey? I know you did cover this earlier on.
He's back training on grass and is back playing with football. And I seen he posted on his Instagram saying he's getting closer. So hopefully that means, I don't know if he'll be back, and I don't think he'll be probably back to play in March because he'd have to play this weekend coming, and then the squad's picked next Thursday. So I don't think he'll probably be in. I don't think Istanbul would want him really coming into an international squad either after only just signing for them.
Fair. Tony Herbert. Also looks like Cashin has fallen into the same predicament. O'Brien had it. Everton. Why pay high 7 figures for a guy to warm the bench? So annoying. Agree with you there, Tony. Not good. Not good at all. Dean Flood, don't expect it to be an overhauled squad. Could see Scales and McAteer dropped for Bankwah and Bata. I think that's very fair, lads. Very quickly on that.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I think the scales is out for Abby O'Brien definitely. So
Yeah, 100%.
But I just want to see Abankwah and he deserves it. He's still eligible for 21s. It's just mad to think. So, but no, just get him in.
We need talent. Tony Herbert, Hope Rocket, and Kirkin are in this, or Sirkin are in the squad, but doubt it. Any word on episode East progress? We've covered that. Thanks, lads. Tony in LA. Good man, Tony. But doubt it. Yeah, there we go. We just covered that. He is back training Festy as Connor. Why no mention of Festy? Says Frank. We did.
We don't like him.
Yeah, we hate Festy. No, he's back. He's back training on grass. Aidan Corbett, Vada got 15 minutes off the bench at the weekend. 3 more matches before the international break. If he gets back to match sharpness between now and then, he has to be in.
Yep.
Very quickly on that. Yep. Darren O'Grady, give a proper run out to Moran, Cousin Will, Azaz, whoever HH thinks best. Give them the 2 games. Creativity in midfield sorely missing.
We could actually play Andy Moran in one of them deeper midfield roles, which would not be against us. Remember when he came on against England, Dave, and I thought he was brilliant when he came on, and that even though we were shit, he actually showed so much better than our other midfielders in terms of playing on the half turn. When he gets the ball off the centre half, he's not looking to pass it backwards or doesn't keep his body shaped right towards the defenders. He actually tries to play forward. So we play Bulgaria, I wouldn't mind seeing that, but I don't think he will play in that because he, as much as I love Andy Moore, he's up and playing that well because Stoke are absolutely crap.
That's what you really think. Martin Fitzpatrick, good man, Martin. Duff said he walks with a limp after playing with Hart for Ireland after the running he did to cover for him. I don't think that's certainly true. I mean, I'm not telling
you. He did say that. He did say that.
He did. No, he did say it, but like, I'd imagine his limp is because, probably play with injuries. Nothing to do with our friend of the podcast, Ian Hart. Dean Flood Knight got Bristol's Player of the Month for February. I did not know that.
I said that 20 minutes ago. You heard it, Martin, didn't you?
Yeah, he doesn't listen.
Yeah.
I don't. What? John Quinlan, what a fantastic and well-deserved decision. A wonderful ambassador for Edenderry and Offaly. Congratulations, Rocky, and well done, committee.
That's
Jason Knight from. Is Jason Knight from?
That's just something completely fucking different. That's someone commenting on something. Like someone walking into a birthday party and go out and not knowing whose birthday.
Good man, John Quinlan. Anyway, but
it up.
I don't know who you're on about.
Mikey had an excellent game versus Leeds. I heard, says Dean. Aidan Corbett, would you call up Connolly in March? Doing well at Millwall, it has to be said. I don't think he gets in, lads. Says he very quickly on that.
Who did you say? Sorry, Connolly. Yeah, no.
Darren O'Grady, not a Connolly basher, and really hope the lad comes good, but a bit of a stretch to say he's doing well at Millwall. Frank, why is Conor Ronan totally ignored? Who?
Do you know who that is?
Joke. I do know who Conor Ronan is, yes.
He's MLS season's only just started, I think, hasn't it? Or has basically only started, so he's not really.
Frank is a member of East London, by the way. Good lad. And yeah, based in America. So that's what he's
he plays for Colorado. But no, he is a very good player, but I think just Irish managers don't seem to fancy lads playing in the MLS, and he's been out injured now for a while, but he's back. Obviously, I seen he played last night. It was his first game back, but I just think he kind of would have to be probably one of the best midfielders in MLS to have a chance of making an Ireland squad.
Yeah,
he's actually managed by Martin. Would remember Ralph Ragnar's assistant is the manager of his team, Chris Amas, whatever you pronounce it. He is the manager of Conor Ronan's team in America.
There you go. Did not know that. There you go, Frank. Aidan Corbett on Aaron Connolly. His work rate playing at wide has been impressive. Tony Herbert, could Mickey Johnson play left back? He does look good enough. He does look good going forward. Wow, though, but he could be a kamikaze pilot left back with the amount he loses the ball. Thoughts? No, I think you just answered your own question there, Tony.
Yeah, I don't think we could play him left back.
I think Brady is possibly our only decent option left back, just thinking out loud. I agree there.
Wow. Oh, Mr. Prendergast, what have you got to
Beep,
say about
beep, 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 beep. Reverse in there. Reverse. There he is.
Ryan Manning?
Yeah.
Ryan
Who
Manning
doesn't play?
played 5 minutes against Chelsea. No, I was going to say Martin because Matthew Martin was going to say he wasn't going to say any other lad that has played left back for us. He was going to say Manning.
I thought Martin was like, oh, what about McCollum without fuck's sakes. Gerard McGann. What do you think of Killian Phillips, lads? Personally, I really like the passion he plays with. And I think he's the type of player that would relish a go at keeping tabs on Szoboszlai in September. Don't know enough about Killian Phillips.
Yeah, he scored against Celtic the weekend. He's having a brilliant loan spell at St Mirren. He's doing very well there. And yeah, I don't know if he's ready for international football yet, but when you watch him play proper, when you watch, he'd make you love him when you watch him play football, like, 'cause he proper loves it.
How old is he?
21, so he's still quite young. And
What's his parent club?
Palace. But
Okay.
so he's played for them a couple times in pre-season and stuff. So he's doing very well at St Mirren. He was on loan at Aberdeen the second half of last season. Did okay, but he's kicked on a lot at St Mirren this season. They seem to do well with Irish lads. Conor Rowland was excellent there. So hopefully Phillips can kick on and hopefully become an international one day, because you can just see when you watch him play for Ireland, you see how much he loves it. And he got man of the match against Italy for the 21s in Turner's Cross that day. So no, he's a very, very good player.
There you go, Garage. And he says, keep up the great work. Thank you, Garage. Really appreciate it. Old Dude 420. Ian Harsh should return to play left back. Frank says, looking forward to seeing you in Bulgaria. SFO, MUC, SOF, and then the train. What does that mean?
Is it San Francisco? Is it San Francisco to Munich?
Yeah. To Sofia. And then the train.
Wow. Well done. That's brilliant. That's a hell of a journey. Frank, we look forward to seeing you as well in Bulgaria.
That's Swiss London members for you, mate. That's Swiss London members for you.
Yeah, and why aren't you going? You're the president.
Not president, am I?
Well, you're the chairman. You're the chairman.
Dare you? The fucking Lord Admiral of Risk London. What are you now, Martin? Lord Dictator, is it?
There are other commitments in life, and
your country always comes first.
Yes, we will be there. Connor and I will be there, Frank, and do say hello if you see us. We will be going around, probably jet lagged because we haven't slept. We're getting like a taxi at 2 a.m, 2:30 in the morning. I need to book that with them, actually. Going to Stansted. I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning. We're going to Stansted.
Get on with it, will ya?
Shut up.
People don't care about our flight, David.
They do.
No, they don't.
Fucking your life story.
Yeah.
Life story. Do you want to hear about my life story? I'll tell you.
No, we don't care.
Right, we look forward to seeing you. Two miserable fuck. I love traveling. Two miserable bastards over there. I'm glad you're not sitting next to me on the flight. Connor. You better not be sitting next to me on the flight. I have first class, even though it's Ryanair. Leg room in the middle. Aidan Corbett for March. Goalkeeper Kelleher. Travers. Bazuna. This is squad. We might need this for the starting 11. Doherty, O'Shea, O'Brien, Collins, Abankwah, McGuinness, Brady, midfield, Cullen, Malumbi, Azaz, Moore, and Taylor, Knight, Smallbone.
Next comment.
Forward, Parrott, Ferguson, Conley, Smodic, Johnson, Vata.
Yeah. No Adam either.
He's crap.
I'd have. Wow. I'd probably go Ida over Conley, Aidan, but I know you're a Conley fan, so yeah. No, I mean that's not the worst squad. It's
Where's Sinclair? Where's John Joe?
Dean Flood, off topic, lads, but I just can't listen to the rant. Off topic, lads, but who'd you like to have more of an Ireland career, get more caps?
I can't wait for this answer. I'm waiting for this answer from a few of you. Yeah. Let's go.
Kidsy.
I fucking teed that out for you. Jesus.
Well, it is obvious. Like
more than his 14 caps.
What about you, Martin?
Who I would have liked to have had more caps?
I'll give you one. And this is why I'm the knowledge of the podcast. Stephen Ireland.
Yeah, but it's his own fault.
Doesn't matter. I would still like him to have more caps. He was supposed to come back as well, wasn't he? On the trap.
Yeah.
See, Dean. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. Stephen Ireland without a doubt, but
Andy Reid.
Like he was.
Wes Hoolan probably should have
Andy
played more.
Reid. Where's an Andy Reid? Yeah, criminal.
Stephen Ireland had the potential to be a world-class player. Nothing against Andy Reid or Wes Houlihan. He had the ability. He was technically superb. He just didn't. He had the physical attributes. He did not have the mental attributes. He was phenomenally good. Phenomenal might be over egging the pudding there a little bit, but still, he was really good for Ireland. So what was it? 3 goals in 5 games, like crazy ratio. And the first man to score in Croke Park for Ireland.
You would say one of the goalkeepers, Kieran Westwood or David Ford, kind of got shunned to the side very fast. When David Ford was a spell, he was excellent.
See, there's a couple of ways to look at it, isn't there? There's like, who would you know, obviously we lacked a player of Stephen Ireland's quality. We lacked a player of his quality. You probably don't remember this, Connor, all joking aside. Eamon Dunphy, do you remember? I don't know if you saw this, Martin, but Eamon Dunphy wrote an open letter to Stephen Ireland to get him back in the squad in a paper. Actually, like, he was that good. Where Kieran Westwood, fair enough, but I've never known us to have a bad goalkeeper ever.
Yeah, and we've always had options.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, so I get what you're saying, but that's how I look at it. Like, where we really struggled with a creative player in midfield. We had Houlihan, we had Reid, very, very good players. I think this guy, if he had just kept it together, could have been like tippy top player. There was even talk of him replacing Scholes. Not saying he was as good as Scholes, but that was the talk at the time.
I do have a player, Stephen Reid. It was shame with his injuries.
Oh, that's a call.
That's a call.
He was another one that could have reached. He was superb. Oh, he was such a good player. Technically very good. He had a right foot in him like a fucking rocket launcher. Do you remember that when he came on against Cameroon?
He hit it well.
Yeah, he was superb. He was so good. Strong, technically.
Go on.
No, just saying, strong, technical. Had a shot on him. Good leader, and he could tackle as well. He was a superb player. Sorry,
I think the most obvious one ever is Martin's boyfriend, Roy Keane. Should have had more caps for Ireland if he didn't walk out in his country in the World Cup, and possibly could have won a World Cup with Ireland. But he didn't get as many caps as what he should have if he didn't walk out in his country. That's all I have to say.
That is another way of putting it. And I agree with you.
Oh, I would like Roy to have had more caps without a doubt as well.
And it was his own fault.
But it was a situation with Ferguson. No, it was the same with Wales and gigs and things like that. Was the control Ferguson had over those players.
You don't really care about the friendlies. It's that World Cup.
February 1997, right? We drew 0-0 with Wales. It was Paul McGrath's last game for Ireland. It's also the last time Roy Keane played an away friendly for Ireland because he just didn't do friendlies. And to be fair, with Roy, a few things happened. He walked out in Mick in '96. People forget that. True, Martin?
It's true.
He walked out in Ireland in '96. He didn't show up for his testimonial. And then he eventually got him back in late '96 because we didn't have the players. And he actually played him as centre back against Iceland and got booed. And then he walked out again in 2002. And he should have had way more caps. 57 caps did he have, Martin, in the end, or 53? So one of those numbers.
Yeah, I think
something like that.
More.
He should have been an 100 cap player for Ireland because he played for long enough in international setup.
14 years. 14 years.
Like, he should have got 100, especially qualifying for tournaments as well. So it's no fault. That's the most obvious one because he's a disgrace to his country for walking out in that moment. Well, he represented Ireland brilliantly in terms of his leadership on the global stage. But in that one tournament, he's an absolute disgrace to Ireland. And I won't forget. Should have won a World Cup.
I'm going to name another one.
Like players who, when they turn out on the call up and they just leave, like they say they're not interested in international football anymore. That's a shame when they do that.
But a lot of these lads, I don't get it because I've spoken to people in the underage setup and I've spoken to like lads that are involved and like people who are mates of them saying like, oh yeah, would you be bothered going in for a friendly camp because you're like, you could go away on holidays or get a few days off? And they say no. International camps are the best thing ever. You never have better crack at anything than you do have international camps. And like, even if they just go in and they're just like, even sometimes it's not even about the football. At times you just, even though you're playing for your country, he says the crack you have for the international camps is unbelievable and like the togetherness and stuff. So I know people have families and stuff, but like I think just the bond you get in an international camp and enjoyment people have being there.
And I think why did your boy Didsy? Why did he? step away from it?
Oh, his body just couldn't handle it anymore.
All right,
Unfortunately,
okay,
his body
He's
couldn't
still
handle
playing now, though, is he? Still playing.
Yeah, but that's why he's playing at lower levels. Sorry to tell you,
Okay.
that's why, because his body is not the same as what it was.
Still to run a fucking pitch though.
Yeah.
No, but I'll also another one on that actually, and just to just explain to the older fans. And this is a favourite of mine who I wish had more Ireland caps. Obviously, my favourite player to ever play for Ireland was Ronnie Whelan. But he didn't play because basically back in the 80s, and what Martin's saying about Roy Keane with some of that is right, by the way. All joking aside, is correct. Where Ferguson wouldn't let him play because he was just so injury prone. Same with the Liverpool lads in the 80s. Yeah. Kenny or Bob wouldn't. They would just weren't allowed to play. Back then, the clubs did not have to release the players. The international, correct me if I'm wrong, Martin, the international calendar was a complete clusterfuck. So you had you actually had Ireland matches on the day of like cup games in England, like League Cup games, FA Cup games. It was weird. You know, there was none of this kind of sorted out calendar that you see now, this window. So Ronnie Whelan, I think he got 53. Or I think he's won 53, 57, only got 3 goals. But what a player. Could do it all. And he just couldn't. He was too successful almost for his own good. Anyway, thanks for that, Dean. Do appreciate that. Right, we're going to get through the last of these guys. We got to go. Kieran Leog, if Scales get to move this summer, would it be championship or move to the continent? I think championship, lads, would it?
Yeah, probably because there's more money in the championship, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
He also says, Dave has sipped out that empty water bottle 5 times. For fuck's sake.
You're an empty vessel.
Empty
vessel.
It wasn't. It's empty now. It's not empty. It wasn't empty. You know, you got to understand. I'm sitting here. Put the heating on.
He doesn't get that, Connor. He doesn't
get it.
I do get it, Ian Hart. Yes.
Hey.
Your friend, Ian Hart.
Your mate, Ian Hart. Yeah. Sorry, he was on the last show. I'm watching Katie Taylor.
Don't worry about that.
Aaron Govins. Well, that's a great show again. Thank you, Aaron. What do you think of Ferguson not getting much game? Sorry, it was a feather there. Not getting much game time. Yeah, should have scored the last day, but from lack of games, took too long to mess up. That's exactly what I said. It's worrying, Aaron.
You want to go?
Yeah. Host. It's worrying, Aaron. Worrying, Aaron, I should say. And yeah, there is a lack of game time, and his next game, I believe, is on the 10th, and then that leaves him. Actually, here's one, Connor. Here's one for you, since you're so busy interrupting me tonight. So after this game that he plays on the 10th, what's the next game after that before the Ireland squad meet up? Probably on the 17th, I believe.
Yeah, on that Saturday or Sunday.
So how many? Because they'll go straight out to the last game.
Away to Everton on the 15th.
So the 10th. Oh, I'm going all pixelated.
At home to Newcastle. 15th joins up with the squad on the Sunday.
So 2 games.
Yeah. And a good window of a good couple of weeks. Well, a good week. Good.
If he
7 days training now, probably behind closed doors games. Perhaps you wouldn't know.
Apparently, I did meant to say this. I can't find it online, but my brother-in-law is a big West Ham fan. Was telling me that apparently they were playing behind closed doors against the under-18s, and he's playing in those games. That's what I was told.
Well, I seen he was in Dublin, Leicester, so I don't know whether that's true or not.
Oh, look at Connor. Martin, look at it. Look at it. Our rep tracker boy over there. He's going mental because I have a little scoop and he doesn't.
No, I've seen it. But I guess it wouldn't be playing as I'd imagine it'd be against under 21s and not under 18s. But I did see he actually was in Dublin yesterday. But no, what I was going to say is I think it was just weird the way it started at West Ham. If you remember his debut against Brentford, he came on at half time and he looked so bright. Should have got an assist. He put the ball on the plate for Kudus right in front of the goal. And he kicked it over the bar. And he looked his hold-up play was good. He had a good battle with Collins. And like West Ham's were loving it. And they were like, this is finally the focal point we need in attack. And he's only getting started. And then he played 8 minutes against Arsenal. You can kind of understand this type of game. You're kind of just trying to feed off scraps at the Emirates. And then everyone thought maybe he might come back in then for Leicester. And then it seems that Potter didn't want to change a winning team. But I know Paqueta came out with injury. So I don't know whether he wants Paqueta to be in the team with Ferguson because he was playing 4 at the back. And then he went to 5 at the back against Arsenal. and then he stuck with the 5 at the back because Paqueta wasn't playing as well. So hopefully, if Paqueta comes back in, you'd imagine they'll go back to 4 and they'll just put Ferguson up front because it just does my head in that he's not playing.
Either way, he's not going to be match fit in March. He's still going to get picked. He's still going to play. He won't be match fit. And you kind of worry then in case he gets an injury because he'll probably start for Ireland and then he'll be going in a bit cold and he'll get injured and then I'll send him back again. I think that would be the worry. But he's not going to be match fit. If he's not match fit now, he's not going to be match fit after 2 games and then going off to Ireland. And he's not going to play 90 minutes in those 2 games. He probably won't even play 90 minutes across the 2 games. I'm not putting the boot in.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't think he will play 90 minutes across the 2 games for West Ham, but I still think he just kind of, it's just Ferguson. Like, you just have to, like, because if he comes in and he scores, the thing is, if he comes in and scores for Ireland in March, which you'd hope he would do against Bulgaria,
he'd kick on,
he'd kick on. So
I think
so I just think I'm actually not that worried because you know how much I rate Ferguson. I'm worried about that he's not sharp enough, but I just think it'll just all fall into place for him though.
No, I love the lad. I hope he goes in and he scores a hat trick and he's great and he kicks on and he absolutely smashes it for the rest of the season. I just don't see it happening. I know Potter rates him. He's a quality lad. He's a quality player. And listen, Ireland are not in a position to not pick Evan Ferguson if he's not injured. So he's gonna be coming. Gerard, Alex Murphy for left back by the time September rolls around. Hopefully, quick on that.
Yeah, if he kicks on. Well, he's on loan at Bolton at the moment, so he'll need probably a loan to the Championship or break in a Newcastle team, which is probably very unlikely. So, no, I'd probably depends where he goes on loan in the summer.
Fair enough. Tony Howard, don't forget, Charlton basically turned McGrath into a 6 for both 88 and 90. Only reverted back to centre back in 94. Excellent. CBs can play effectively. Please, no, Robinson. That is true, Martin. That is true. Yeah. That is the case. It's funny enough, I always say it on the ITB commentary for the England, when we beat England 1-0 in Euro 88. What's his name? Ron Atkinson had him obviously at Man United, didn't he? And then would have him again at Villa a few years later. And he said, Paul McGrath is the best centre back in these championships and he's playing in midfield. Yeah. He was right too. Yep. And funny enough, our best performance, Martin, of that championship was actually when he got injured in a warm-up before the Soviet Union game. He came out and Sheedy went in behind Ronnie Whelan. We played him off the park. Mad, isn't it?
Great goal.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Lee Mewett, my team, Bulgaria, for Bulgaria, Keller, O'Shea, Collins, O'Brien, Brady, Knight, Cullen, Azaz, Ferguson, Johnson, Vata.
So he agrees with me. He does not. He agrees with me, but he's O'Shea right back.
Yeah. Did you think he left his ass out or something? Did you?
No. I was trying to make because I seen O'Brien down as a centre half, and I was like, oh, geez, who's the right back? But O'Shea, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, no, good man, Lee. Lads, Ferguson will start. If fit, whether like it or not, sometimes players are played for national team to crucially get some form and confidence into. Yeah, no, this and we agree with that, Lee. You are correct, and yeah, I think we've touched on that. I just hope he doesn't break down. Because he's just.
The thing is, supposedly, I've seen Brighton fans say, or Brighton like page on Twitter say that it was against Brighton's want and the medical team's want for him to come in the last time. Remember when he came in, but he was literally just back because they thought he wasn't ready to play matches, and then as whatever way the knock he had was made worse with Ireland. But I'd imagine he is, in terms of injury diet at the moment, I'd imagine he's fully healed in that sense because they would have took their time with it. So I'm guessing it's just pure mat fitness, which they probably won't have a problem because is he better off going away with Ireland? I know he's still more of a risk of getting injured with Ireland, but would you rather him go and play competitive matches and stay at West Ham for a week and a half and play against the under-21s or play against a championship team in a behind closed doors game?
Fair. Sorry, when you see me grinning there, I'm not grinning what you're. You know yourself, lads, when you read down the comments. Not this one, the one after this one. I'm waiting for. Hi, Nick. Heimer still played Ferguson in November when he was hardly getting any game time at Brighton. He's guaranteed starter regardless. I agree, Nick. Yeah, absolutely.
He's our Lewandowski.
He is. Baylor, have a question here for Prendy. Who do you genuinely think has had a better footballing career so far as a whole, Ditzy or Callum O'Dowda?
I don't know. Like, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Different stages of their career. Would O'Dowd swap? Did you mute me?
Yeah, I muted you for a second because I thought you were going to say Calvin either. I want him on mute because he's going to say O'Dowd.
I don't know. Like when they look back at their respective careers, O'Dowd is on 32 caps for Ireland, 1 goal. Did see 14 caps and 1 goal as it was a striker. Good career in the Championship, Premier League, scored goals. I suppose pretty good that they got to the Premier League.
Good.
In comparison to O'Dowd there, but I don't know. Will they look back and think? I don't know. McGoldrick, did he ever score at Wembley for one of his boyhood clubs that he came through? O'Dowd has had that in his repertoire, I suppose.
I think when we're going down that route, it's pretty.
Did O'Dowd ever score? Did O'Dowd ever score against Chelsea in the Premier League? Did he ever score against Man United in the Premier League? Did he ever score at the Emirates in the Premier League?
I don't know if O'Dowd walked out. I don't think he's ever let Ireland down and walked out when we've needed him.
Because we've never needed him.
Sorry, no, Martin. We're talking about this, not Roy Keane.
And we're on about a club career. We're on about a lad just retiring from international football. But
twice.
It's obviously he's had a better career.
Yeah,
he's played in the Premier League.
Yeah, Roy Keane's. Yeah, Dad has never played in the Premier League. There you go. Job done. Sorted. Boom. Ari Gubbins.
Beat Man United. Beat Man United, I think, in the cup. Cardiff. Oh no, was that Bristol? Bristol, I think.
That's hardly an achievement.
No, I'm just saying.
Gone out again.
It was a few years ago.
Still, probably, unless it was 12 years ago, it's not really an achievement. Gone out again in the FA Cup. Good boys. I do love Fulham, by the way. My club, my other little club. Yeah, I worked with them for years. Lovely club.
Go on. Tell us again that.
Yeah. Go on.
Aaron Gubbins.
You ever meet anyone down there? I met Mick. Oh,
actually, funny you say it, man.
No, don't you start.
Twice. I've met Mick twice down there, and then one time he bollocked my mate. It was hilarious. Get that fucking truck. Aaron Gubbins, as much as I would love the hype of Evan Ferguson to come true, but do you think he is very overrated? And where will he end up after this season? I do understand he is still young. Oh dear, Connor. I'll say this, Aaron. No, I think, listen, all joking aside, I think he's a quality player. I like him. He's quite a raw talent, but when he's on form, that ball is going in the back of the net, left foot, right foot, whatever. Like it's going in. And I think he's a very special talent. He's had a bad run of it with injuries, arsehole managers, and other bits and pieces, maybe. And we don't know what's going on behind the scenes there a little bit. He is a young lad. He's 20 now, lads, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just turned 20.
Yeah, he's just 20. He's very young. He's very, very young. Like he's not going to hit his peak until he's like think about it like this, lads. He's not going to hit his peak for another 7 to 8 years. Yeah. Like Mo Salah, for example. Now I know he's a completely different body type. Mo Salah is 32 and he's playing the best football of his life. He's only 20. You got to remember that. There's a bit of hype, but I do think it's warranted. Very quickly, lads. Yeah.
You know what my answer to that is.
Yeah, I know.
Martin, I think we're going to see a player develop there.
I think so.
Yeah, top player. Like Ireland's centre forward for the next 10 years.
Yeah, he's going to be a top player. Paul O'Mahony, please let Serkin be in. If he isn't, that is that. Agreed. I think very quick, lads would agree on that. If he doesn't come in this window, he's not coming in at all, does he?
Yeah.
As for Joe not being ready for internationals, come on, Dave. It's Bulgaria, not Argentina. Bring on Vata, John, Joe, and Armstrong. Listen, I'm not against it, but I just think our last game was England. We got an absolute drubbing, and that was in November. That was nearly 5 months ago, or that'd be about 5 months. So you don't know what state the team is in. Tony Herbert, sorry lads, I think both columns are useless. Wow. Lee Newt, Paul O'Mahony, I agree. It's not Argentina. Should definitely have him in the squad. Give him a few minutes if going well. Second leg, fair. Disagree with Dave. We're not Brazil. We need to take chances on players, even if it's before their time. Wales do it all the time, and other smaller nations do similar. I agree with that, giving players a chance. But from what I've seen in John Joe, I don't think he's ready. I totally agree giving players a chance. Fiona and Darcy, is Andrew Moran injured? Surprised he hasn't been mentioned, but may have missed something about him being injured. He was injured for a while, wasn't he, Connor?
No, they just is in a terrible team or crap, and he doesn't get to play properly. He got a lovely assist against Middlesbrough midweek, that game against Fittizaz, and but he just can't impact the game for Stoke. They're just so crap, and he needs to stop playing in the Championship because it does my head in. Unless you play for a top Championship team, you might as well be playing in League Two.
Fair. Last few comments coming up here, lads, and we're going to wrap this up. Liam Hewitt, the team PSG are playing is Dunkirk in English. Oh, okay. World War II. Kieran Cullen, the night midfield is too small. Liam Hewitt, it's true, isn't it? PSG's semi-opponents are Dunkirk. That's French spelling. Liam says again. Fiona Darcy, surely the answer to Dean's question is Wes Hoolahan on not getting enough caps. Yeah.
He's one of many.
Listen, if you said Roy, as I said, different ways. We won't get bogged down on this again. Different ways of looking at it, Fiona. Totally get it. If you said Roy, Ronnie Whelan, Wes, Andy, Stephen Ireland, different ways of looking at it, different prisms to that question. And yeah, I agree. I don't think there's a wrong. I don't think there's a wrong answer there. To be fair, Martin Fitzpatrick, Arnold was class for Man City. Also, yeah, when he shaved his head because he had a problem with his hair, like he had a bit of a mental issue about his hair. No, he didn't he?
Did he have a bad hairline or did he have alopecia?
Oh no, really bad
alopecia. He was just balding, wasn't he?
And
he wore he had the treatment, didn't he? And they ripped off his head.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, that's why he left. And that's why he left the back here.
Yeah. So he shaved
bullying,
it off.
Really.
Well, that's bullying. It's not a good thing to do. Like, no, it's not. Like,
no, I'm not laughing at that, but that is the kind of story we had, wasn't it, at the time?
Like, that lad was a cultured player, like really superb player, and players like that you got to look after. He said, "Look, lads, leave him alone."
It was farcical then with Granny Gate and all that, wasn't it? And
it's a shitstorm. Shitstorm. Liam Hewitt, agree with Dave with Stephen Ireland. 4 goals and 7, by the way. Fair enough. Alan Kelly should have had more cast Bonner past 94. Now yet again, Liam, you're absolutely spot on. I don't think there's an incorrect answer there. Unless you say Colin Dowda. There's no incorrect answer there whatsoever. Alan Kelly. I did actually ask Alan Kelly, didn't I, Martin? And kind of you were there as well. Should that have been your World Cup 94? And he was very, very diplomatic about it, wasn't he?
He obviously thinks it should be. He just was being nice.
He should have been. He should have been. No one could argue that. Bonner was unattached. He was with Celtic, let go of Louis McCarry, and then at that World Cup, and then he went back to Celtic again for 2 more years.
It's a bit like the women team at the moment, picking women's players that aren't at clubs and it's come back to bite them in the arse. Big
time. And Liam Hewitt says, Roy, 67 caps. That's the one. So I knew there was a 7. It was 57, 67. Anyway, right, that is it. Guys, we've gone a bit long there. Thank you so much. Over 1,500 of you watching us on a Sunday night. And it's a very quiet news story as well. Brilliant support as always. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. If you want to support the page, guys, don't forget you can buy us a coffee down below there in the description if you want to support us there. You're not under any obligation yet. No, that's a joke. But thank you so much, guys. And Shane Brown, thank you for supporting the page. We love you, and really unbelievable support there as well, and lovely support, brilliant support from you guys out there also watching us. I said 1,500 watching us here. We are, I'm gonna say, lads, we're Irish football's biggest podcast. Who else gets that watching them live, eh? Am I lying?
No, you're not. No. Must also say we forgot to mention this. Best of luck to Glenn Whelan going in as
Wigan manager to the end of the season, I believe, or interim manager, isn't he?
Probably for a couple of weeks.
We love an interim. We love an interim.
We love an interim.
And I will also give a shout out. Wrist London's quiz in aid of hacks is in the Cladder Ring on Friday, the 7th of March. If you want to come up and meet me, Dave won't bother going up there, but I'll be there. Our charity quiz. If anyone fancies coming along to that, more than welcome to come along.
When is it?
Friday.
Which Friday? This Friday?
This Friday, the 7th of March.
Yeah,
remember Wrist London. You get all the newsletters, you get all the save dates, you get all the WhatsApps. Yeah.
design all the posters.
Yeah. Yeah. You do.
I
actually.
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I won't be able to make. But you're gonna have a wonderful time up there. But listen, fantastic support again. Brilliant stuff, guys. Thank you so much. Really great support. Of course, we will be going over to Bulgaria, and we will be in Dublin as well. We're gonna have loads of content for you. Colin and I will be in Bulgaria, in and around the stadium. Martin's gonna be in and around the stadium as well. Over in Dublin, we're gonna have the streams. We're gonna have the previews. It's gonna be brilliant. If you see us, please do say hello. Unless you're Martin. We'll just ignore you. No, fantastic stuff and brilliant as always. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get to 2,000, right? We're currently at 1,901. We need another 99 to get. We want 2,000 because we think it will help the team, lads, won't it? We think we get to 2,000, we're gonna win the playoff handsomely, right?
Yeah.
So if you can help us get to 2,000 subscribers, just tell your mates. They like Irish football, but they probably don't think that there's any decent podcasts out there. They're probably right. But tell them to watch us and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. You can head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. Head over to Rep Tracker where Connor is at. Also, you can go over and get some opinion on lansdowneroar.ie, lansdowneroar.ie. You can even write for lansdowneroar.ie. Just give us a shout anywhere, emails, private messages, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. We got German guys, Americans. We got everybody wants to write about Irish football. It is fantastic. Anyway, I'm David Dunn. He's Martin Prendergast. The fella on his phone there, not paying attention, not giving a fuck. That is Conor McAvoy. Little thumbs up there for your audio listeners. This is Lansdowne Roar. You are lovely and amazing. We're out of here. Good night and God bless.